Working hard on my stump, what's the problem? I ain't had shit to show, being modest. Now it's grams of the wax for my conscience. Bron James in LA, you're on collars. I've been jumping on them planes like a hobby. Still moving with the pack like my partners. Shut the John on them jets cause we wildin'. But the bowl is a party on the island, moment of silence. So good, get back to the topic. Grew up, it was me and Flocka. Grandma's and Big T, this my mama. I ain't even for the pain when my pots flip. Knew his name, that's it, never bothered. Mom said, you the man, son, you got this. Ever since I found a way to go and pop shit. Hold up, blaze through a whole zip. Took a seat at the table of my first flip. Days in red roof with my first whip. Split the money with the gang, never post pics. Seen the change in the game, had to coach it. Never let them take my wangs on the mold, bitch. Ever made in a month, nigga. Used to serve him at the minute just to front, nigga. Goddamn. Had to grow up quick, I made my own rules. Had my first child, got it jumping with music. Can't really hang with nobody who losing. I thought by now that you would go and get it, but I could hardly see niggas this distant. Know you get cropped if you not in the picture. And I made that zag and went got a bag. Shots to the Henny and OG prescriptions, put rebel shit on the map. Took a leap from where I started at. Started ballin' now, I'm Chris Paul and Cats. Got him steady calling for the mold, but I'm on a roll, gotta call him back. And that's all fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. All carry-on items should now be stowed securely, either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. All aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas should now be clear. All electronic devices should now be turned off and stowed, as they may interfere with the aircraft's navigational and communication systems. Once airborne, we'll let you know when you may use approved electronic devices, but note that some items may not be used at any time during the flight. You'll find a list of approved devices in the in-flight information section.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Pocket Locker Podcast. I am your host with the most, all the way from the East Coast. And as always, good people, I am in airplane mode, gang. We're so close. Y'all have seen me build this. No, listen. We are a community centered. I was almost said gather centric. We all about our space, y'all, and we're trying to get our custom work adventure base room primary map built out. We're very close. People have probably lost half the subs because people don't want to watch streams where I build the map. But look, you could just pop in. We'll be back to some regular stuff soon. You know, right now we just trying to get this work in. But look, I worked on the setup a bit today. So now, boom, look at that. I got my screen set up as a second camera. You understand what I'm saying to you? So, it's like you could see what I'm watching, and you could see me, and you could see what I'm working on. But yeah, we're gonna keep it like this, just so that what I'm working on is full screen. And then you kind of got us to the side. I don't know, we used to rock like this sometimes. But yeah, I like this. I'm really excited about this. Just having the second camera set up. I could use the second camera to like give you a different angle of the studio, but I don't have my other cameras plugged in. So right now I'm excited to use it for the screen share. So that basically, and this is cool for like gaming. It's gonna be cool for a lot of different things. We'll probably actually use this for, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, right now I'm gonna put it back like this.
Say this. I deeply believe, as a former Republican in my teens, as a former conservative, as a person who's raised Catholic,
also,
as
let
a
me
person
just
who voted.
give a shout out to the gang. Appreciate seeing y'all. Look at the trees. I gotta go find that damn sample again. What was it? What song did that come from? I missed that sample. I gotta find that. Maybe I have it. Maybe I have it on my soundboard, my other computer. Hey, Liz Allen, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah,
McCain and
we're
Palin for
close.
her
Our
first
room is
election as a teenager.
close.
Okay, I get it. You can criticize me.
All right, what we're doing, y'all, we're making a custom version of the base map that we like. It's called Great Place to Work. So basically we're making a custom version of this map because we don't have control over certain things. I just, we wanted to just use the default maps for a little bit to make sure we're going to stick with Work Adventure. But now that we're really trying to make it our own, now that we're pretty much going to stick with Work Adventure, it's we got to build our own maps. There's certain things about these built-in maps that I just don't like. Also, it's just little stuff like, oh my goodness, what the heck did I just do? What am I doing? You go back there. You go back. Nope. Nope. Oh, that's what it is. I got another Brave browser over here. Sorry, another Chrome browser. Okay. Now you go back there. Now you go. Nope, still not. Okay. All right. So, like, we can't do certain things. What did I do? What am I doing? Okay, get out of there. All right, there we go. Let's go for a little tour. All right. So, for instance, this is annoying. They got this up in the sky. This looks weird. We fixed that. What else is there? You can't go into this booth. I'm showing you all the little shit first. I don't know why. Can't go into the restrooms. And then the main thing that really triggered me was I can't replace this because we don't use these games. We use built-in games, but we use our own games because our games are better. Like literally actually better. Like how cool is it? You walk up to the pool table, you're like, the pool table works. Hey, you want to play some pool? Oh, we can't because it's not multiplayer. Yeah, we don't fuck around like that. We don't fuck around like that. We make sure we get all the good games in here and all the multiplayer games in here. And so we got to replace these games, but because this is a default map, I can't get rid of these little highlighty things, and I can't change what this is connected to. I could like put another game on top of it, but that would just be weird and clunky. So it was just we were always gonna end up using our own maps. So we stayed here long enough to figure out we want to stick with this software, with Work Adventure, but we got to have our own maps. All right, so we're working on our map. This is the little test of it. And you can see those little things. This is empty now, so I can put what I want in here. This is flat. So now it looks like you climbed up on top of the bed and you're on the top bunk. You can go into the booth. Yeah, man, I'm gonna need you to turn that bullshit down a little bit and turn me up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta run to the restroom. You can, here's a good one. There's a block tile there. I gotta make that, I gotta get rid of the block there. That way it can look like you're sitting on the potty. Cause that's real important stuff. And I gotta open that door because apparently that door is still locked. So I'll go do that. But see, these are all the things I can control it. I'm a control freak. And I can't have other people just signing up for Work Adventure, picking that map, and then their shit looks like our shit. A lot of it's vanity. See, now I'm on top of it and taking a poop. All right. Yeah, like our shit's gotta be unique. It's gotta be one of a kind. And we're going with an aviation theme. So we got the blue going, kind of airplane mode, we're going very aviation theme. We'll talk more about the aviation theme and the lore. But right now I gotta work on these details. So the main thing is we got to do this area. I guess I'm gonna call it the courtyard. We got to do the courtyard. If you look at this courtyard, it's got a lot of details. So I got to add these courtyard details. Mostly the furniture is like all the seating and these tables and chairs. I got to add all that shit. The ping pong table. I'll make our ping pong game way better. And then the hallways, like all these like seating areas and this little decorations that are in the hallways. We need to do that. And then the thing that's actually important is out in front. You have all these tables. And I'm actually going to use these, at least for now. We're eventually going to make our own game room like we did before. We'll make sure we have a dope-ass game room. But I will use these tables, and we'll put most of our like main games in the down here. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're working on. Hoping to get most of it done today. And then I can actually go into Work Adventure and start customizing the room. All right, but right now we're chilling. We're still chilling in the Great Place to Work. Kyle was in here with me earlier. Maybe some people will be back. All right, let's go ahead. We'll share this in here because it's also shared so you can see it if you're in Work Adventure with me. All right. Tammy,
I deserve
get
it. I
to
was a
it.
gay Republican. So just, in case conservatives watch
But
this
does
later.
it have alligators? It might actually have alligators, PC. I don't know. I haven't actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not seen alligators. I've seen some very interesting things, but I have not seen alligators. But I'm only talking about the sort of tile sets that came with sort of these Work Adventure maps. So I do think there are other tile sets that we can find places. I just have to figure out how to source the extra tile sets. And I'm going to start looking into that anyway because I want some tile sets related to aviation stuff so I can eventually make the place even more, aeronautical themed or whatever. So when I do that, yeah, we'll just look into interesting places for tile sets. And I would be shocked if, because this program is generally just for like 2-dimensional level design. I'd be shocked if there wasn't like an animal tile set that has alligators. And we can make an alligator
they're like,
island. There is like jail cell stuff. It's easy to make cells, so we could definitely make like a alligator Alcatraz and put a bunch of apologists in it.
The left turned her gay. I was always gay. I was gay before I could vote. Thank you. As a person who's now deconstructing
we
queer and
put a
progressive,
couple more
I think
plants.
MAGA Republican conservatives
some more in
want
the
to be,
hallways,
and they are
too.
gay and trans, and they feel too afraid and too scared to embrace it, and they're mad at us for being okay with it. They're mad at us for loving our life. They're mad.
All right, I got to think for a second. I don't know what to do first. Okay, I think what I want to do first is the this area here, which again I'm going to call the courtyard. And I think I want to do the furniture first, so like tables, chairs, all that type of stuff. Then the little ping pong table or whatever, and then I'll do the rest of the details. Then I think I'll do the gaming stuff, and then I think I'll do then I think I'll do the hallways. And then I'll do the gaming, the picnic area last, because those tables are just going to end up being copy and pasted, so they'll be super fast.
And they hate it. They see it as like a deep sin, like a real sin. It's like they're watching us be gluttonous, and they're like, "Stop being a glutton." And it's like,
all right, let's see
we're
what
not being
furniture
gluttonous.
we
We're just
need.
enjoying our life. But they don't know the difference. And I think I would love to, in any way, free or help
Yeah, I
free
gotta get
them
outta
from
here.
that blinder that they have on. And so I want to watch this video with
gotta
you
go
just
over here so I
to,
can
begin
see
my
what we're
research
doing.
journey into making a podcast about this. The sick reason Grindr crashes at MAGA events.
All right, we'll
Have you
find
guys
these
heard
little
this? That during the
umbrellas set
Republican
up. It's
National
kinda
Convention
cool-looking,
and
little
during Charlie
mini
Kirk's,
beach.
I think, memorial, the Grindr crashed again. Okay, I can't tell you how many queer people I know, how many people I meet, how many closeted, gay and trans people there are in the world. I want them to feel safe enough to come out, but a big reason they don't is because they're ashamed, and they're ashamed because the bubble shames them. That's why I don't believe shame works, and I just don't. I don't think shame really works. I think, and shame is when you've betrayed the expectation of the bubble. Guilt is when you've betrayed your own values. I think until you feel guilty, like until it's your own values, you probably won't change, because in the same way the bubble tried to make me feel shameful for being gay, right? Like that didn't help me. That just made me hate myself more. So I don't see how that's going to help somebody else not hate themselves more versus me coming to
I don't know. I always think this stuff is very white coded. This sort of aberration towards negative emotions and negative feedback. And there's definitely some truth to what she's saying, but I think she's conflating a lot of things. Shame is an incredibly effective tool as a social corrective. And it serves a very specific role, which is a lot of times people are resistant to more pro-social means of correction. Like, it's not our fault if you won't stop being harmful or won't stop being a bigot or won't stop being a fucking idiot. So shame is typically not the first, tactic to go to, but who goes there, right? It's always kind of a mischaracterization to like pretend that people are just like shame is the first thing they go to. And it's very different when you're talking about the shame of like a cult, like making you hate yourself for like being gay or touching yourself versus like using shame as like, shame on you. You really ought to not be, picking on those less marginalized people. And also shame is like, it's minimally harmful to the person being shamed. Like, it's not violence, it's not legal consequences, it's not like ostracization from a group. It's literally just being like, hey, that's shitty, don't be shitty. Shame on you for being so shitty. So people just we gotta like put our big kid pants on and just realize like, yeah, we can't have this, because it does nothing but serve the status quo. We got to realize like, hey, we got to fight back. And like, yeah, the people we're fighting against, like, they're doing some shameful shit, and they really do need that negative feedback. And it just sucks because so many of us are recovering from our own cult indoctrination. So we're really averse to everything the cult did, even the things that we kind of need to do. And this is why I have like controversial opinions on a lot of things. Because like a lot of times I think people need to be disfellowshipped, right? And people don't want to hear that because they're like, oh my God, isn't that like what cults do when people like don't say the right thing? And it's like, yeah, but also like we got a lot of Nazis in the streets these days. And yeah, the elders taught us that back in the day, you punch the motherfucking Nazis in the face. And people aren't punching Nazis in the face anymore. All I'm saying is don't invite the Nazis to the motherfucking cookout. And then y'all asses are like, but you're disfellowshipping. See, and I'm like, see, this is where this is where we've gone too far, escaping the call. I'm rambling. This person's take is really on point and nuanced and sophisticated, and they've been very clear about what they were talking about. So I'm really not even trying to correct them like that. I just had thoughts, so I shared them.
The realization that there was nothing wrong with being
PC,
gay,
what the actual
and I shouldn't embody that. I was a good person even though that I was gay. All of that stuff, right? So there's something here that
a Charlie billboard attached to a Bible verse. They made this man a saint. They're saying he's their MLK. They're just telling on themselves. America is showing. They're showing us just how white supremacist it is in this motherfucker. And honestly, I'm gonna say something like. It sucks for all of us, but it does even suck for white people. Like I do low key feel the vicarious embarrassment that a lot of y'all get when you're just like, holy shit. Like, why does this country white so hard at every opportunity? And I get it must be exhausting. But yeah, especially as not a white person, it's just like, holy crap. They just insist. Like they insist on championing the people who champion white even. And it's so funny because I was just thinking about this actually last night when I was relaxing, like after I hopped off the stream. the fact that like there's so many people. Because I was thinking about how I would talk. Oh, because last night I had movie night with my students, and I was buzzing. It was really cool. Definitely something I want to do again. Made me feel like you know, get a chance to be a part of their lives and just spend some time with them. Um, but like I was thinking about, like when do people talk about a space being politicized, right? So the motherfuckers that are on this Charlie Kirk shit, it's like they're the same people who, if the NFL is like end racism, they're like, I'm gonna boycott the NFL because it's too political. If LeBron James is like, don't murder black people, they're like, shut up and dribble, right? But then when Charlie Kirk, like an avowed Christian nationalist, racist motherfucker, literally dies as he's throwing black people and trans people under the bus with his dying breath. And the Yankees and the Cowboys are doing like a moment of silence and a motherfucking tribute, and his ass is on Air Force Two and all this shit. None of them people complain about their shit being politicized. Not a single one of them. Not a single one of them. So again, they're just, like I said, they're just telling on themselves, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool. It's 2025. I thought we were maybe gonna be singing a new song, doing a new dance, but nah. This is America, and Americans are gonna American. So yeah.
I think is significant. But I would like to, with compassion, free those people. And also why I think bigotry is because of ignorance is so
All right,
much of
let's
this, right?
get our room going
It's like
here. We got everything locked up. Let's make
bigotry
a new room.
it comes from anger, it comes
We'll
from
put it near
resentment,
this
it comes from why do
details
you get to
stuff.
do this if I can't do this? It comes from you're less than me, I'm better than you.
The reason
There
I
is a
say that is if I turn on this details on and off, you'll see that it's a lot of the stuff that's in there already. So we kind of want to put this stuff, I guess, on a layer on top of that. We may end up putting it in details, but we'll see.
a real internalized negative feeling of I'm better than you. And we have to deconstruct that, right? Discourse said, hey, Laverne Cox couldn't have
Just
dated
gonna
that
call
conservative
it
cop if there wasn't a
Courtyard.
conservative cop to date. Exactly. You know, these men, I can't tell you how many trans people I've heard from who say these men slide into their DMs. These
Furniture.
Republican,
Just
politicians
Courtyard for
always being
now.
caught with CP, which is, by the way, a completely separate conversation. I do not, like conservatives, want to wrap up the LGBT experience and conservative experience
Furniture.
with CP. But so many conservative men have been recently caught with CP on their computer. It's absolutely
tile
insane.
layer.
But that is a completely separate topic from what we're talking about in terms of consenting relationships or consenting ideas or identities, be it trans, gay, pan, queer,
guess I'm gonna
whatever.
call it,
And remember, with
beach
Queer Ultimatum
chair.
just being canceled and with
Beach
Trump having
chairs.
his hands in television, we might be going back to the 90s. Remember that I was raised in the 90s and 2000s. And Ellen show got canceled.
Ow.
Rosie O'Donnell got canceled. So many queer gay
Ow, gang. Oh my God, getting old sucks. I just bit my tooth. I don't know how that happened. I just did something where I pressed against one of my teeth with one of my other teeth and it actually hurt. Like, how do you hurt yourself biting your teeth with your teeth? Like, I don't see, when you get old, the body just starts malfunctioning. I was thinking about this other day. You just hurt yourself doing all sorts of weird. You can hurt yourself just sitting. You can hurt yourself taking a poop. You can hurt yourself just laying down. Like, fuck being a human. It's
gay people,
blows.
they weren't always queer, but gay people were kicked off the television because it was obscene and inappropriate. And trust me when I say this, that there's a
Oh yeah, it probably doesn't work anymore because I think I like deleted that space. Let me change the link. Yeah, it should be, I guess, this one for now. Which link is that? Is that the link from the bot that you're talking about? Is it the is that the one you're talking about? The one from the bot? That one? Yeah, okay. The one in the chat. Because I don't know if there's one in the. I don't know if there's one in the description. I don't think I put one in the description. But yeah, I'll change the bot link now.
Very good chance that this administration
Thanks
is
for
trying
the
to go back
reminder.
there. Okay. So be kind, be compassionate, especially to yourself, and do the right thing, even if nobody else is doing the right thing. Because there's going to be a lot of people in the next 4 years who are going to do a lot of the wrong things. And it's going to be so tempting
I
for
gotta get the
you
store
to be
going too. It shouldn't be that hard. I guess the thing I should think of is how I would do it with the current setup that we have. I guess the best thing to do would be to set up the alert box. Okay. So I typically have content coming through Brave. So I guess I could get it coming through Brave. I guess the only downside to that would be I wouldn't have independent control over it versus the content I share. So then technically I should use a different browser for that. Let's see if we can get that going real quick, actually, just because I always talk about it and I hate the fact that I always put it off because typically I want to solve it with like a analog setup and it just takes me a while and then I never get around to it. All right, let's do this. All right, so that is commands HQ command. I don't know where the HQ command is. Here we go. And then it's this one. Let me see, which one is this? Work Adventure, Bundy Ranch, great place to work. Now it's Bundy Ranch, great place to work. Uh-oh, that's no good. Let's see. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be the length. Sometimes it's the length more so than it's the link. Let's try it. Let's see, and then we'll get a confirmation. So, let me go over to the channel. I'll drop it HQ in the chat. There's the link. Yeah, something went wrong. See, and the link goes bad. And I think it's because it cuts the link off. Okay. Cool. This has happened before. Not a big deal. We just tiny URL it, shorten it, copy it. Then I need to do this probably with most of the links that I put in the description. I just I'm not worried about it till after I finish this up. All right, and then there's also the timer HQ. Uh-oh, didn't do that right. Undo. Cancel. All right. I just got to replace the link part. Space. Confirm. Commands. Yeah. All right. Now let's try it again. HQ. It's got to wait for the bot to drop it. All right. That works a lot better. Yeah. I think the issue is the link was too long. Link was too long. Definitely don't need the tutorial. Also don't want my bot account in here. Don't need that. Oh yeah, I'm done with this whole window. Oh, all right. We said we're gonna look into the store. All right, what's the best way to do that? Best way to do that is to figure out a browser to use. And I use like so many browsers already. I use Brave for the content, Firefox for the restream, Google for Work Adventure, Edge for the background. Okay. I think that still leaves like Safari and maybe Torque. I kind of like the idea. I want to. There's a new browser I want to use. I want to start using Opera. I've heard good things, or maybe it's just the commercials actually working on me. All right, let's try Safari for now and see how that goes. So I should be able to do Safari, then I'd come over to this thing and get another channel, another application channel. Let me add one for Safari. Yep. Then I needed to go to me and the stream. Yeah. All right. And then we would go to Streamlabs. And log in with YouTube. Oh, brother. Two-step verification is like the bane of my existence. Damn, I just hit up cuz. All right. What is it? It's the alert box I think I need for the store. I've done this in a minute. All right, let's test YouTube. Really shouldn't matter, right? Yeah, I can't hear that. All right, let's see. Oh, launch. You're making me nervous. All right, hang on a sec. You're making me nervous. Do this. All right, now test. I see it, but I do not hear it. Audio set for caster. All right, I might leave the store alone. I can come back to it, but let me see. Safari. Yeah, I don't know. It's going. Let me just try something else real quick. Let me try to play like a video or something through Safari and just see if I have make sure I have the browser working overall. All right. Don't really care.
What's this nigga name, bro? Fabio?
Oh yeah,
The
we
fuck?
are. We can hear the audio.
Yeah, nigga, I'm like this. Yeah, go here. I'm about to fuck you up.
He playing
How
with
much
a
you want to wager for,
kid.
bro?
Bro,
Hey,
he
we
playing
can,
with a
hey,
child.
200.
Yo, man, I guess these kids got money like that. Damn. All right. So then this alert box thing is something else. Let me see. I don't even know what I would try. Okay. Let's go back here, back here, back here. Redeem. Oh goodness. Alert box. Where are we at? Yeah, all right. I'm gonna have to think about what I gotta do to get the alerts going again. I'm sure I'm just overlooking something simple. All right, let me get back to this though. I can figure that out. But yeah, I think that design should work. All right, let me switch y'all back. It just kept giving me warnings about the screen, made me nervous. What are we watching? Brave.
As ugly as they are. But like we just watched this Ethan Klein video, look how bad it is for your skin, okay? To do the
All
wrong
right.
thing. Look how bad it is. All right, let's watch this video. Have you guys
We're
seen this
looking for
channel?
those
This is
umbrellas.
channel 100 News with Evie. I've been liking it. Do we have any thoughts about her? Do we know who she is? I just came across
Oh
her
no,
for
we're
the
looking
first
for
time.
beach chairs.
Grindr allegedly crashed during Charlie Kirk's memorial and the RNC in Milwaukee. Whether it really did or not almost doesn't matter. The rumor blew up because it fit the joke we all know, closeted Republicans. But the real story isn't just hypocrisy. It's about why the closet still thrives in conservative politics and how it fuels everything from makeup-covered speeches
I
to
just watched
actual
this video
laws.
actually today.
The science
It's
of
pretty good.
homophobia. Back in the 90s, a study caused a stir. Researchers showed homophobic men 3 sets
Lots
of
of
erotic
cool stuff
videos:
there.
straight couples, lesbian couples, and gay male couples. They strapped participants to equipment measuring penile tumescence, basically a scientific boner detector. The results, well, homophobic.
It's called the plethysmograph. Your boy is really a sex researcher, so I know about this equipment. I always wanted to get one in our lab. We weren't doing any studies that we actually needed a plethysmograph for. We did do studies related to arousal, but typically we just had people self-report. But I always wanted us to get a plethysmograph just to like have one. So really should have designed a study which we needed one, but nobody actually wants to work with one.
Homophobic men reacted just like everyone else to straight and lesbian porn. But when it came to gay male sex, about half of the most homophobic participants showed clear signs of arousal.
All right, and yeah, just so people know, like the cool thing about the plethysmograph is that a lot of times when you're dealing with arousal and sexual studies, like people report what they're attracted to, and obviously sometimes people are not honest. And so with this thing with the plethysmograph, a lot of times you expose people to pornography in the lab, which is a stimulant, and then it's like you literally are measuring if they're aroused or not. So there's essentially no way to lie about it. You're either getting hard or you're not. And so that's why this is powerful evidence.
The author suggested this lined up with an idea called reaction formation, or as others have called it, the desire to cruelty pipeline. People who are threatened by their own hidden desires push back by loudly hating the thing they secretly want.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. That's what I'm saying. That's why, what's his name from Fresh and Fit? Oh my God, has it been so long since I've reviewed that bubble? Marlon. Maven.
Maybe not.
Oh my God, Myron, thank you.
Oh, his name's actually Myron.
Gaines, holy shit. I can't believe I forgot.
All right, here we go. Here's the
That's
beach stuff.
amazing. Wow,
Oh,
I've really
here's
been
the
free.
blue and white.
Oh my God,
Okay.
the spirit of the devil left my body. Holy shit, I was free for a second. Myron, okay. The world is healing. Oh my God. Okay, Myron Gaines hates women. I think because he's attracted to them. I know a lot of people think he's gay. I actually don't think Myron is gay. I think he wishes he was gay, in my opinion. I think he just hates women so much that this is how it manifests.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's actually sad how many like straight men don't like women. Like I guess like I don't even know how I don't understand it. I don't know how it works. I'm not gonna be able to break down the lived experience because I can't relate. Like I literally always thought that like if you're a man and you're heterosexual, then you like women and so then you like women. So you like being around women. You kind of even sometimes have a proclivity for like feminine things because it reminds you of women, and it's like easy to do things that women are into because you like women and you want to be around women. But apparently that's not. Apparently a lot of men are like straight, which technically means they're attracted to women, I guess, apparently. But they don't actually like being around them or enjoy their company or getting to know them or spending time with them or communicating with them. I don't know. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me.
Manifests. And I think that's what,
math
that's
is not
talking about
mathing.
misogyny. You're so misogynistic, you wish you were gay. Process that information.
Exactly.
That study exploded in the media. For decades, you've probably heard the line, the loudest homophobe is secretly gay. And honestly, it's satisfying. It makes hypocrisy feel inevitable, or like cosmic karma. But in 2005, Brian P. Mayer and colleagues published a study with the perfect title, A Secret Attraction or Defensive Loathing, Homophobia, Defense, and Implicit Cognition. And they complicated the story. They wrote, contrary to the idea that defensive
let's
homophobics
go blue
harbor an
and
implicit
white.
attraction for gay sex,
Well, hold on. Chad said he thinks pussies are gross.
Life
He's gay
is
for
but a
sure.
beach
Well,
chair.
I know a lot of people who think genitals are gross, gay or straight. I know a lot of lesbians who think vaginas are gross. I know straight people who think genitals are gross. I hate to say it, guys. I think there is something misogynistic about hating, but also I think we are discounting the fact that human sexuality isn't that basic. Like, it's just not. And also, genitals don't make a gender. We know this, right? We've deconstructed gender on this channel. A vagina doesn't belong to women. Penises don't belong to men. You know what I mean? Like, but when we're having this conversation, when we're really thinking about understanding a person, yeah, it's funny to make the jokes that are simplified. But also, you know what I
I'm trying to figure out
mean?
the placement.
It's like, I don't know, it's just a thing. I don't know. I don't have any connection to a body. If I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I think bodies are bodies. Sometimes I think, oh, that body looks nice. And sometimes I just think it's there. I think it's also a cope to become like obsessed with like, oh, I love backs. I love feet. I love whatever. I just think like we're coping. You know what I mean? I just think we're severely not deconstructing why we're even attracted to things or think things are nice. That's like people who won't date people because their body doesn't look a particular way. It's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Found that such individuals displayed evidence of phobic-like aversion. In normal people speak, it means not every homophobe is secretly lusting after what they condemn. Some genuinely experience fear and
let's see if there's
disgust,
any other beach
like a
chairs.
spider phobia where the thing you hate triggers panic, not hidden desire. People scared of spiders don't usually want to fuck the spider, is what I'm saying.
All right, so are y'all following what's going on here? So basically what they're saying is that there's these two sort of competing homophobias going on. There's like the repressed response, which is like who we call the closeted motherfuckers, right? And so they're dealing with like the desire to discrimination pipeline or whatever the fuck they called it. But their buddy, like their strange bedfellows, pun intended, with the actual phobic ones, the ones who have the fear and like hatred, like actually terrified response, and they're scary motherfuckers too. Like, because he's saying they're genuinely phobic, like they genuinely treat this, they're in a straight panic over it. But they all get together, because of Jesus and conservatism and whiteness. But that whole deal. So. That's why they're basically trying to take a deeper dive into the Grindr shutdown. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I definitely, yeah, I concur. I mean, I think most of us being former Christians are aware of both of these elements.
It gives us two distinct camps, the closeted, repressed
All right,
kind,
so
and the defensive,
we've got
phobic
a
kind.
umbrella
And that
there.
distinction
Maybe that's
matters
it.
when
Is
we
that
look
the
at
only beach
Grindr
chair? Oh,
crashes
there's a
and
little
mega
umbrella down
politics,
here.
the two faces of the closet. So who was logging in?
Maybe
Okay,
we'll
hold
put a
on.
little
Chad, you're like, have you seen a nice pair of
beach
hands
chair
or a muscular
over there.
back? Yeah, guys, but do you understand that people are saying they're attracted to people based off of the back or based off of not having a back? Do you know what I'm saying? That's what we think genitals are. Oh, I'm only attracted to you if you have the genital I like. So everything else in my body,
All right, let's
my mind, my face,
let's
my
delete
arms, good,
these.
but my genitals don't match and it's over. You like everything else about me, right? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about like, but then that's an interesting idea. And then it's like, okay, what again, this channel is meant to challenge us to think about why we make these jokes. Why do we make fun of people for thinking like genitals are gross, but also why do we think genitals are gross? But also why do we think they're beautiful? They're just kind of neutral. Are they beautiful? Are they ugly? Aren't they just there? And then isn't it subjective? You know, I've seen some pretty vaginas. I've seen some ugly ones. I've seen some pretty dicks. I've seen some ugly ones. But isn't it all like, does it even matter at the end of the day? You know, when you're in love?
At the RNC, most likely the repressed group, the ones who feel desire.
I mean, I
but
guess
can't
if you want to
swear
be
it
in
with their
love,
political or religious
then you want to be in love. But for some people, that's like a thing. It's like a filter, you know. And sometimes it's not love. Sometimes it's just sex, and then it's just the genitals may be important. Yeah, and I could see it. Yeah, genitals could be they could be a deal maker, and they could be a deal breaker. We don't talk a lot about sex on this channel a lot. I'm thinking, is that because I'm not having any, or is that because there's so much terrible shit going on in the world that I don't end up talking about sexuality, even though it's been an incredibly important part of my scholarly identity or something. I don't know. But look, little preview. I think me and Tsumami should talk about dating and stuff on our show, and I think that will be a fucking riot. So, you know, actually, it's funny, y'all. I used to host a dating show because I wanted to be a dating coach. So that's actually what I was doing when I was in school. But yeah. I always think I should do more stuff on the channel. It'd be fun.
world. Michael wrote.
And by the way, the Republicans are trying to
But
engage
we're
with more
trying not
gay
to die
people,
right
but it's not
now,
going to
so
save you,
it's
Jeffree
tough.
Star, Leo Skeppy. It's not going to save you. At the end of the
Whoa,
day,
wrong
they are not
tool.
going to like you. They're going to use you, abuse you, and throw you to the curb like everybody else. All these pick-me's that are working really hard to get these people to accept you, they're not going to accept you. It's like women who pick men, you know, at the expense of other women. Yeah, at the end of the day, girlies, he's not going to pick you if it really comes down to it.
Rochester's 2012 dissertation dug into this. He found that authoritarian parenting, rigid
trying to
rules,
make a
harsh
little
punishment, sort of
collaborative
my way or the highway
seating
approach, was
here.
strongly
Let me
tied to
see. I don't know
homophobia
if it's gonna
and
work.
repression. Men raised this way often developed a mismatch, attraction on the inside, hostility on the outside. So when a grinder rumor hits the RNC, it's not surprising.
I just
In that
gotta
crowd, you've
layer
got
it
people
better.
secretly scrolling because they crave connection they can't admit to. Maybe not even to themselves. But right next to them are the other camp, the ones not sneaking into the app, but cheering for trans policies. As Maya put it, defensive homophobics might be so averse to gay sex that they experience fear and anxiety with mere exposure to gay images.
know why it's
I don't want to call
capitalized,
anyone a
not
pussy ass
capitalized.
bitch, but if you're like scared of a gay guy, like get a grip. Sorry. So while one group is thirsting in the shadows, the other is whipping up bands to make
Also, she's got a rainbow in the background. So this is a queer girly, right? Or a gay girly, or at least an LGBT girly, right? I'm
See, I don't
assuming.
know, because
Make sure
I
nobody
just
can come out into the
rock
light.
with it.
Group A.
I rock with the flags and the colors and the rainbows. I think I got the rainbow kind of thing going on now because I'm just with it, and it's weird. So I don't know. I can never tell because you know some of us allies we fucking get down like that. We're gonna rock our flags. I almost brought like pride glasses. I still might. I think it'd be dope to just have like some dope ass pride glasses, especially to wear all Pride Month. But y'all know I just be rocking them shits on the random just because I feel like it. Yeah, so you never know.
is afraid of Group B, religion, community, and belonging. This whole dynamic gets supercharged by community, or the lack of it. Research shows that Americans without college degrees, especially those outside religion, report much more loneliness. They have fewer
Yeah, see,
friends,
now they
weaker
kinda look like
networks, and
they're
less social support. Conservative
together on
churches
the beach.
still offer that structure. And for many people, the church is their family, their safety net, and their entire social world.
And then we'll
so
put
if you're a
another
gay
little-
Republican in that setting, the closet isn't just about sex. It's about
One off to
survival. Coming out might
yourself.
mean losing your family, congregation, even your job. You could literally lose everything. So staying closeted or even attacking other queer people becomes a way to keep belonging and also to keep people off your back. And this is why Trump's religious freedom policies between 2017 and now hit so hard. He expanded exemptions for doctors who refused trans patients, for adoption agencies that rejected gay parents, for employers who wanted to fire people for just being a bit queer. He sent a crystal clear message. If you're straight and devout, you're protected. If you're queer, you're disposable. So in that same convention hall, you've got two strategies playing out. Some Republicans hide on Grindr, hoping not to be found out, or to find someone in a similar situation as them. Others double down, writing laws to keep the closet locked for everyone else. Bronzer, eyeliner, and double standards. Honestly, this is why the Grindr crash rumor hits so hard. On the surface, it's hypocrisy. And yeah, hypocrisy is funny, especially when it's wearing bronzer or like just orange spray tan on the face. Like, let's be honest, Donald Trump in full pancake makeup is basically drag, just without the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, or talent. And go JD Vance, give me stuff.
Wait, somebody said, because Trump had this like line of foundation on his face the other day, and somebody said, this is why you have to make friends with drag queens and gay people, because we would never let you leave the house like that. And I think there's something to that to an extent. Like, whoever's doing his music, whoever's doing his makeup just like isn't really paying attention to the details. And we've all had bad camera days where you put on foundation and the flash causes that white face we've seen, you know? But like the line was so clear, it was crazy. And I just thought like, oh God. Oh God. Now chat says, isn't this kind of the same thing with queer men who love to engage with cis straight men who are homophobic, like they're attracted to each other? So I will say this, gay men, not queer deconstructed men, but I think queer people who've deconstructed are less likely to engage with homophobes as a way to seek validation. But I think people who are gay
Let's see where they
or
put this
LGBT who have yet to do that are seeking validation from the norm. Right. So I think trans women that I see who answer these DMs from these like rappers and celebrities and athletes who want to be with them are seeking the validation of feeling valid in their gender expression. Right. I think these gay men like the Jeffree Stars who want to be like, you know, I'm a boy, like I'm not a they, them. Like he's trying to cater to those same men that make him feel validated in his agent, like in himself, like his sense of self. Like we have to understand that we're still products of the world. Right. And the world has convinced us as queer people, gay people, trans people, no matter how we show up, no matter how normal we seem, we'll never be normal because normal is a construct. It's not real.
It looks like you're fishing.
It's not a real thing, right? There is no such thing as a normal. There's only such thing as an expectation based off a standard you have set by your bubble. Okay. And so we have to think about these things. But obviously all of us are people and all of us have like a sense of, you know, validation seeking that's just going to be harmful to us. And again, we talked about Ethan Klein earlier in stream, Jeffree Star and Leo Skepi, I've talked about on my podcast, like how you seek validation is what we need to deconstruct because there's nothing wrong with validation seeking. There's nothing wrong with seeking validation, right? Like what's so wrong with wanting to be validated in the way that you feel, or you want to be seen, or you want your ideas to be validated. The issue is if you want them to be validated falsely, you want them to be validated by evil people. You want them to be validated, you know, in a negative way that's contrary to helping you become in sync with your joy. That's what I see with these people. I see a longing for the wrong kind of people to validate them. And that's why the validation they get will never be good enough. Because it's always in secret. It's always dirty. It's always something shameful. And you are not dirty and you're not shameful for being gay or trans. Chad says, do you think Trump does his own makeup? I don't think he wipes his own ass. Well, obviously, Trump's not doing his own makeup. But whoever is doing their makeup,
let's close the court.
They need to be fired.
On JD Vance. So if you're going to write anti-trans laws, maybe don't show up looking like...
Though I will say at this point, it is the brand. At this point, if Trump is known for being orange, it would be very bad not to be orange. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how you make fun of Trump will have him... He should embrace it, if anything, because it's good for the brand. That's why Charlie Kirk laughed at his segment on
the umbrella
South Park.
Should be above.
It's why people laugh when they get made fun of. They try to turn it around and use it for power. Yeah, I wonder.
I just wandered out of a hot topic. The eyeliner, JT. But once you peel back the comedy, I'm holding myself in, there is something darker. The closet in conservative politics isn't just a joke. It's kind of an engine. It turns repression and fear into policies and culture wars. It makes people feel unsafe with the people they know. The politics of the closet. Authoritarian leaders know how to work that engine. Take Poland in 2019. The ruling Law and Justice Party ran a campaign branding LGBT rights as foreign ideology. Surveys showed that prejudice against queer people rose afterwards, but so did solidarity. Society polarized. That was the point. Trump did the same thing. He didn't just say LGBTQ+ people don't belong. He said religious freedom. And suddenly, his base felt holy. well, LGBTQ plus protections evaporated. Same playbook, just different vocabulary. So when you hear about Grindr rumors, it's not just gossip. It's a sign that both repression and defensive loathing live side by side, and both can be weaponized by the people on stage. In a dream world, a gay guy could just be a Republican because he likes money stuff, I don't know, and it wouldn't matter. But that's not where we are. Closet isn't just personal, it's political. So yeah, the Grindr at the RNC story is hilarious, don't get me wrong. The same party banning drag queens is run by men who look like they're waiting for their turn on RuPaul's Best Friend race. Girl, you'd be sent home first. And if JD Vance spent half as much time on eyeliner tutorials as he does on anti-trans laws, maybe he'd finally blend something properly. Also, Trump's makeup is so bad, you can tell there's no gay guys there helping him. He'd look a lot better. But here's
See, we're all making the same joke.
the serious part. The closet isn't just an individual problem, it's a political tool. For some, repression means sneaking onto apps. For others, fear means doubling down on bans. Together, those two forces keep the machine running. Shame creates silence, and silence justifies the next round of cruelty. So that's the real hypocrisy.
Yeah, I feel like
It's not
that'll
just
interfere
one
with
closeted
the-
delegate on Grindr. It's a whole system where fear and desire get twisted into fuel for authoritarian politics. Until that system
And it
changes,
should
until
be
we
an
stop
above.
rewarding fear and punishing difference, the closet will keep producing two things: secret users in the shadows and loud crusaders at the podium. And that's why Grindr crashing at the RNC isn't just a funny rumor, it's a warning. If you like this little breakdown,
It's
hit like,
definitely a
drop a
warning.
comment, and make
No, I'll link this video. It's definitely a warning, but it's also something more devastating. Like, my deep empathetic brain is devastated for all those people that are suffering in their silence, and I just want to free them and let them be gay. You know what I mean? You know Ivanka? What's the gender bending, gender fluid person on Luffy on One Piece? Not that I'm condoning this, but you know how he changes people's gender when he's mad at them? A part of me, like, he also does it and he frees people. Like, people are also freed
I
when he
need
evokes people.
a wedding
you know?
venue,
Ivanka.
Jay.
Ivanka.
Hey,
Ivanko.
Shivani.
I've got two.
How you doing? Yeah, we got to build a mountain. I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know about this.
Two different responses. Okay, but like either way, when he does it,
Other fishing
it like
pole
can
here.
free people. It can trap people, but it also can free people. You know, and that's the point. Is like sometimes I want these people just to be freed. It's okay. You're fine. Relax. Okay, relax. You know. Let's see. Chat said,
go.
what do you mean by this? External validation is temporary. I don't know what you mean by that, but external validation is incredibly important. Example, hi, you see the moon, right? Because I want to make sure I am validated in my perception of the moon. Yes, the moon is certainly there. Okay, good. I thought I was going crazy. I am glad I have another person to confirm that the moon is certainly there. I feel validated. Thank you. Validation is incredibly important. Actually, why children need it so desperately. Because growing up, children who are invalidated start to question their sense of sanity, their sense of right and wrong, their sense of being able to perceive what's right and wrong. And it rocks them for the rest of their life until they hopefully go to therapy and deconstruct. But the point is we desperately need outside validation. We just need to make sure we get healthy validation. We have to make sure we're getting the right form of validation. We have to remember that validation is incredibly important.
I mean, I guess you could put your pole in the water.
It is being widely
we're just gonna go
reported,
with one
at
poll.
least the
All right.
first ship of 11 people that we summarily executed as a country in the Caribbean Sea as they were traveling from Venezuela to Trinidad. And then I
I'm
think they were
somewhere
actually,
on the
once they realized like they're being
beach,
tailed
sitting
by
strong.
a drone, they tried to turn back to Venezuela.
got a new
It is being
girl.
reported that those people now in
She got it
Venezuela were
going
just
on.
merely fishermen, and which makes sense. Because 11 people on
I
a
think we're good
boat
over here.
running drugs of that size does not make sense because
You're wasting gas.
you want it to be
You're
the
wasting
drugs.
gas.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, here is Tim Pool
I don't
sort
know
of
where that rubber
walking that
ducky is. That'd
fine
be
line.
kinda fun
Remember,
to
Tim
find.
wants to
All right,
both
let's
pretend
keep
he's
moving
sort
now.
of libertarian, sort of anti-war, but also pro-Trump.
We're gonna do that ping
and,
pong table.
Also,
Let's see what else is on the
Against
sheet
the
that we're
pro-Palestine
on.
protesters.
he needs to walk a line.
All right, let's
Yeah.
not listen
Monkey's
to the Majority Report because it's Saturday, and I feel like I listen to the Majority Report every day during the week, and you know, just gonna mix it up. We gotta pretend our weekends are special days, y'all. I could go for some FD signifier. PC, is there something going on in YouTube lands that I need to be aware of? I'm not seeing anything. So yeah, whatever. Let's rock at this. I just need to keep moving. Trying to get this room built, y'all. We're making good progress. Let's
Yo. It is
let's see.
12
I got a
o'clock at
couple
night.
rubber duckies in there. Cool. So I could find the duckies. Never
I'm
mind.
usually not up this late. Hold up. How ass was the movie?
Oh, is he gonna talk about? He's gonna talk about a movie. I guess maybe I'll see the movie.
So I'm gonna start out by saying,
don't even know what movie he's talking about. I guess I could do Dead Domain. Not doing genetically modified skeptic. All right. All right, let's see. I thought maybe I guess there really isn't a lot here. Oh, Esther's on? I'll watch Esther. Why didn't you pop up on my feed? There we go.
What's your question? Yeah, sorry. What's your question?
It's just I'm putting this out there. Right?
Okay.
That Jesus is God.
I believe in the understanding of the Trinity. Does that help you?
So that means Jesus is God.
You at least you heard me say
All
that.
right, let's go find the picnic stuff.
The understanding of the Trinity. The literal explanation, like
I know where those
literal
movies
explanation.
go.
Do you worship
That
It's holiday stuff.
the Trinity?
The gym
Do I
stuff. Our
worship
gym
the
is fine,
Trinity?
actually.
What does that
Like
mean?
the God or Jesus? Do you worship any of them? God, Jesus, or Trinity? Anyone you choose to call it? Do you worship any of them?
Do I worship God? What's your point?
So
the
finally,
question
I've
is
gotten
direct. Yes or
I know
no?
you just,
Yes or no?
because on the definition they say a belief or is a worship of superwoman. So what are you saying?
See, the
Another
thing is
person
that
should go
you
and
don't
say,
listen.
you
Your
people are
problem
just
is
like
you
you
like to
say
tie
that this
certain
is a new thing
conversations
that
to
you
your
guys are
belief.
trying to bring up. This
You're not
is a new
listening.
thing for you guys.
You are not
This is a
listening.
new thing for
Worshipping
you guys.
God.
It's a new thing.
Listen.
What am
Listen.
I? You say that
Worshipping
you
God
worship the God.
is
You are saying
Lavender,
the
you're not
dictionary.
listening.
You are saying the
Lavender, if you
dictionary.
ask a
Lavender,
question, you wait
Oh,
for a
brother.
Lavender,
response.
could you ask him that question again,
Your
please? Could you
question
ask him
is
that question? It's
do
a
I
matter of
worship
yes
God?
or no.
And I would
Could you ask that
explain
question
to
again,
you
please?
why I worship God. I have told you before that the reason why I am a Christian is because I am following the lifestyle, teachings, and doing of a particular person named Christ as documented in the Bible in general. It might not be
Oh,
the Bible
brother.
that you have listened. It might not just be all the books that you are privy to. That is what I am doing. So when you ask me, do I
there's the
worship
Sideway
God? The
arcade
question you should
cabinets.
ask
They're
yourself is, did
helpful.
Christ worship God? So
And the
when we talk
TVs.
about these
Right
things,
now, I'm about to take the ping
listen,
pong
I'm talking
table.
about as documented in the Bible. If you want to prove me wrong, please prove me wrong. But bring your facts to when you're proving me wrong. Don't just go off the concept of, this is how I think about things. I am a very reasonable person.
Brother,
And
are you listening to yourself?
So can I add?
why
Can I
I
add
worship
Are you
to
listening to
God
yourself?
because Christ
Can I
also
add to
worshipped
Lavender's
God.
question, please?
No, just hold on, please hold on.
Where is the ping pong
If
table?
it's fast,
Yes, ma'am. Parker, I'm glad you want
Bottom.
to talk
It's
about
about a
facts.
tile over
Do you care if the
from this
information in the Bible
grass
is
and
true?
the tile up from the wall.
But is it you just like the story and you think it's a good way to live?
So about here.
Could you hear me?
do you care if the stories in the Bible are
I
true?
answered your question even before you added the other insinuation.
No, we didn't hear it.
No, I didn't
No,
hear that.
come on. I was audible.
No, I didn't.
I
hear.
said you asked the question midway. I
guess
told
that's
you
oh
yes. I
shit, gotta
believe
put on a different
in
layer.
knowing
That's
the
not why I
truth.
asked you. No, that's not-
Then you
okay, so
added
you
this.
can't, wait a minute, okay, sorry. So you do care if it's true.
Yes.
How do you know Jesus even existed?
He doesn't.
What does that have to do with your first question?
Well, the first question is, do you care what you believe is true? Well, if you
Yes.
believe you're following this person, the first step would be whether or not the person existed.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah, see, if he didn't exist, it's kind of a problem.
What is your evidence that Jesus existed?
It's kind of an
So,
issue.
so your question is, do I believe that Jesus
All
existed?
right, there you go, right-handed
What is
people.
your evidence that Jesus existed?
But we're gonna make that
That's
into
my
like
point.
a fun
So,
game. Whoa!
now
I
your
fucked
question
that
is,
up.
what evidence do I have to prove that Jesus existed, right?
All right, there's the
Yeah,
picnic
sure.
baskets.
Okay.
Oh,
I
and there's the
cannot
blanket.
give you
Okay, cool,
an
cool, cool. We found the
evidence
picnic.
of Jesus existing. Besides,
Let's figure out where to place it.
besides, you can laugh all you want. It doesn't
Again,
change
it's
the
like
fact that
half a
I
tile
won't lie
over
to you
from
because I want to prove
there.
some, you know, some
No,
point.
I'm
The
not
So
same
it's
way
even
I
at the
could ask you,
bridge.
what
Got it.
proof do you have that he wasn't in existence?
Oh, cool.
But
The
that's by
complete
the
lack
way.
of historical evidence for the person's existence.
Sorry?
The complete lack of historical evidence for the person's existence.
What does that even mean? How is that?
Oh, sure. Because when I asked you if there's historical evidence, how do you know that Jesus existed? The best you could do is say, well, the Bible, the story. But the thing is, to determine
No, that's not. That's no. That's not what I said.
I didn't
No, you're
say
misquoting me.
That's not what I said, Parker.
Is
No,
it a
I
line
did
with the
not say
bottom or
that.
the
Parker,
top?
that's not
I
what I
don't
said. You're not
You can say,
remember.
oh, don't misquote me.
Parker, I
Top.
didn't say that.
He just mentioned that
Parker,
I
did not
responded.
say that. Please listen
there.
again. I said the best you could. When I say you, I don't mean you specifically. Let me rephrase it. The best a Christian can provide.
Good.
The best a Christian can provide for evidence that Jesus existed is the Bible story. But once you go outside the Bible story,
Hey,
it's
hey.
not there.
Oh, Sue's in the chat.
So should you believe a book that has miraculous and
What
magical
the
stuff
fuck,
in it
PC? The
and think
helicopters?
it's true and good enough to live your life by?
That's fucking wild.
Please, guys, make sure you're tapping on your screens. I need to read.
Yeah, please let's help her reach her life goal.
I need to read a comment.
One heart from everybody would go a long way. Where 75 people are.
I need to read the comments to everyone. A comment by S. McDonald, and hey, S. McDonald says these native African Christians are doing what
I guess that's good.
many African Christians in the West are doing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Trying
good.
to rebrand European Christianity to avoid its
Yeah, at least we got the audio working. Like y'all could hear
immorality,
Sumami on the stream when she was in Work
unscientific
Adventure.
nature,
I didn't even have to change
etc.,
tabs.
etc. They're trying to create and rebrand Christianity. Whew.
Yes, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, Sue, I'm bouncing
I
back
agree.
and forth between tabs. Oh, I thought she was muted.
It's an understanding people just
Why can't
find
you
it
see
quite hard to
yourself?
grasp.
I don't know.
So back to my point was.
Oh,
Parker,
probably because I'm
do you
working in the
think
editor.
It's a reasonable and wise thing to do to
I
follow
could see you when
a
I was on
story
the Work Adventure
that
map.
doesn't have any evidence that it was true.
Maddie.
Oh my god. It's not just a story.
Artistical.
It's not just.
All right, we placed the
You
ping
are-
pong table. We placed
Wait, can I finish?
the
So you asked the question whether it's
picnic
wise
table. Oh, looks like the
to
picnic table has a
follow
border on it. That's
the
interesting.
teachings of a book that has
All right, we can place these
no
little kitty tables next.
Evidence that even happened.
We're actually doing pretty
historical evidence.
good. Most of this is
that
already
it happened.
here. So we need the
It's a
picnic
choice.
tables.
It's a
We need
choice.
the basketball.
Yeah, but I asked as if why.
The real
do
question.
that?
Oh, and this
What
little
makes it
picnic
wise?
setup here.
That's the real question.
Well, it would be using reasoning
How
and
does it
logic.
affect? How does
Wait a
it
minute.
affect
Just
you?
unmute
I
your
understand
microphone.
you. So that's what I'm
Wait,
answering.
Parker,
So
wait a minute, hold on.
you,
Could some of
Oh
those
my God,
teachings
Tsunami.
lead you to make political or personal actions that could be harmful to other people?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course
so
you can.
do you
It doesn't
believe
mean it is.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Those are two
Oh
different
wait, I
things.
can't go
Wait,
here. I gotta stay up
Doesn't
there
mean
so I
it
can see
Actually,
what
I'm
I'm
going to
doing.
show you one. Parker.
You can give me
Wait a minute,
20
I'm not
examples.
muting you.
It
I'm trying
does
to
not
ask, no, I'm
mean
going to ask you
that
something
is what
correct. I'm not
takes
even going to
place
give
in
an
every
example. I'm going to
example.
tell you something that actually happens. Parker, do you think that homosexuality is a sin?
What are you trying to do?
I'm
What does that
asking a
mean?
question based on Jesus' teaching. Is homosexuality a sin?
Are you actually listening to what you're asking?
Oh my goodness,
Yes,
answer the
Jesus'
question.
Is homosexuality a sin? Yes or no?
Did you see anywhere in the
So
Bible
once
where
again, I'm
Jesus talked
asking
about
you.
homosexuality?
I'm asking you.
That's my question is, did you ever see anywhere
Also,
Jesus
no.
talked about
All right, I
We
gotta
don't
mute
answer
that tab. I don't know what
questions
Mommy's
we
doing.
answer questions with statements.
No, you are trying to frame a question that has no point to what
Pin
you
is
were
fine,
saying
but
before.
I need
If
to
you have
mute it.
finished
There is
your last,
actually
your
Parker.
previous set of questions, I can
Parker,
understand it.
I
You're
am
asking a fresh
literally.
question.
I
It
know
has
exactly
nothing
what
to do with Christianity.
Yes, you can ask him a different question. As long
If
as
you're talking about the
I'll switch it
Bible,
up. Wait a
yes,
minute,
I
I'll
understand
switch it
what
up.
you're
Hold on.
saying.
Parker.
homosexuality thing.
Okay, wait a minute.
Do you
Okay, I'll
understand?
switch it up.
But
Hold
you
on,
don't try
Parker.
and pin that
Parker,
and point
hold on.
it
I'll
out
switch
to
it up.
Christianity.
Hold on, Parker. I'll switch it up. Do you only follow what Jesus said, the red letter, or do you follow what Paul says as well?
I follow Christ.
So just what Christ says, and only what Christ says.
I
You only
follow
follow the
Christ.
red letter.
Don't misquote me.
So I'm not misquoting
Follow
you.
the teachings and doings of Christ.
Wonderful. So, what exactly of Jesus' teachings do you find the most helpful?
Do I find the most helpful?
Yeah, which
Yes.
of Jesus' teachings?
Forgive.
See, this is the dumb. This is the shit that they get away with, y'all.
You ask me a personal question. What do I find?
I need to worship Jesus so I can learn to forgive.
My person.
Wait a minute, hold on. Maybe I phrased it wrong. Let me rephrase it because I rephrased it wrong. Let me rephrase it. Could you?
Why are you rephrasing?
No. The
You
reason
didn't get
why
the
I'm
answer you
rephrasing-
wanted.
There's a reason why I'm rephrasing it. Could you tell me something that is unique to Jesus Christ only?
All right, where
That
are these small tables at?
leads you to have to follow him
maybe here
for
with the
this
kid
good
stuff.
thing? What is something that's unique to Jesus only? Not something secular, not something in any other religion, just Jesus.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Nope.
Is it
What's the
anything that is it anything that Jesus talks about to follow on earth that is only said by Jesus?
I won't have that data. I don't know. Why?
Okay, because most of the things that are attributed to Jesus saying was said before by philosophers, by other religions, by governments. He didn't say anything special or new.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay. Which, based on your statement right now, have you had any? Is there someone that has spoken about forgiveness?
Yes.
In the capacity that Jesus responded to Peter when he talked about limiting
All right, let me see what
forgiveness?
that damn
Yes.
picnic stuff looks
Can you
like.
give me an example, please?
Confucius.
Sorry?
All right, it's like
Confucius.
the covered
Confucius
table
is about 1,000 years
and
before
then the
Jesus
little
Christ,
wooden
the story that ever
chairs.
existed.
Okay, please, what's your empirical proof about Confucianism?
Yeah, we have the writings of Confucius.
Can
He
you
wrote them
give
down.
me? Can you give me something I can research on or something I can see?
Sure.
As
Do
your
you
evidence?
know who I'm even talking about?
You see, you're doing this again.
Well, no,
So-
I'm trying to find out.
No,
do I
no,
give
no.
you the book
No,
or do I
can I
show you
finish?
who he is?
Can I
That's
finish?
what I'm trying to figure out.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
You
We're on
asked
a
a
panel.
question.
Can I finish, please? We're on a panel where we're talking to learn. When I
Right.
come on here, I'm not coming on here because I like to spit facts or pass on knowledge. I believe in learning,
Well,
and
we
if
know
I don't
that.
learn,
You did
can
not
I finish, please?
that.
And if I don't learn something, I feel it's been a waste of my
Right,
time.
Parker, I
Now,
did
when
tell
I
you
ask
something.
a question
What did I
about
hold on,
you
Parker, I
having-
want to see if you were listening.
hold on, I'm not
No,
trying to
I
be
don't think you were
argumentative.
listening to me.
Wait, hold on.
I listen to you. Let me
Of
just
course
say
you're
my
listening
piece.
to
Could you tell me
Not
who
going
I
to-
said?
I just kind of like this little
Who
black
was the
table.
name
I could use
the question.
that.
Parker, hold on. What
you're
name
not-
did I give you?
It means you don't want to pass knowledge. You want to prove you are right. If you want to pass knowledge, you pass the knowledge. This trying to pinpoint if you're right or if you're wrong or did you hear me, it means you don't want to pass on any knowledge.
No, it's not about
Passing on
knowledge.
knowledge.
No,
Let
it's
them,
having a
let them get it
conversation.
all out. Let them rant out. Are you done?
I asked you a question.
Wait, Parker, are you done? Great.
I asked you a question about
And I gave you
about what you
information.
said.
Parker, I gave
you
you information. Parker, hush.
Come on now. Come
Hush for a
on.
second because I actually told you. I told you who to research, right? What was the name of the person?
I said I asked you a question. The
Yes,
question
and
I
I
asked
answered
you
it.
is,
All right,
do
let's
you have
figure out
any proof
placement.
I did.
Oh,
I
it's like right
answered
outside
that
the
someone
kitchen.
has
That's kinda
talked
cool.
about
I literally answered it, but you weren't
the
listening.
conversation between
You heard it, didn't you?
forgiveness
Amber?
and
Yeah,
Did you
Peter.
put 2 tiles
Okay,
above?
so I know
Your
I
answer
said it.
was Confucian's
Confucius.
or something like that said Confucius. And I said, do you have proof of that?
Yeah.
That was the next question.
The
And you
writings
now
of
stopped and
Confucianism.
asked me,
It's an entire
do I know the
philosophy
name of
called
the person? Do I know the
Confucianism.
person?
Never mind. He's not even
If I know the
listening.
person, I won't be asking you.
Not trying to-
If I am aware of that information, why will I be asking you that?
Okay, so when he asked you, do you even know who he's talking about? That's all you should have said.
That is the point I'm trying to raise. Why would you be asking me if I know the person if you don't want to readily hand the information over? What point are you trying to
Okay,
make?
you asked the question. You said he should prove to you that.
Yes, so why is he asking me? If I know the person, will I be asking him that?
That's not enough for you to now just okay. Let's move on. You don't know who it is. You don't know who it is. Atheist guys, he doesn't know who Confucius
Okay.
is.
Confucius is one of the philosophers that founded one of the great philosophies in the China area, which is called Confucianism. He wrote this down. It is well known. If you need me to, I can find and cite you a
All right,
specific
I can
book
use these
where you can
this
read his
furniture. This
writings,
is
if you
fine.
like that.
I might want to change the table.
Do you have proof about the forgiveness statements that Confucius said? That's my question. That has always been my question. You told me Confucius has cited it. I said, do you have proof of it? That was all. That was all I asked. I didn't ask any other
Would
thing.
you like the book?
And for that person who
What book has?
guys,
do you have
one
the proof
second,
of that
one second,
statement?
please. Lord Chris,
Oh yeah, the
you're
chairs
saying,
are kind
guys,
of far
just
away.
say we
Okay.
should believe in Lucifer. Lord Chris, can you prove that who is Lucifer? Can you prove the existence of Lucifer? So you want to choose a belief in Lucifer. Who is holding you? Who is holding you? You want to go and believe in anything? Go and believe. I don't understand this. You come on a platform and say, guys, just say we should believe in Lucifer. And nobody has mentioned Lucifer at all. But you, it looks like you're so desperate to go and worship Lucifer. If that's what you want to go and do, please feel free. Go. I will even support your belief in Lucifer. Right? It's like you're coming to ask us permission to go and worship Lucifer. Go and worship Lucifer. You'll be just fine. Don't worry. I don't understand this nonsense. Oh,
these are
since I don't
colors?
believe in anything, so if I don't believe in anything, why then are you saying that we are trying to make you believe in Lucifer? Are you okay? No, but are you okay? 1 minute we don't believe in anything. The next minute, guys, just tell us to go and worship Lucifer. I think you must have an obsession with Lucifer, which is fine. I mean, hey, each to their own.
Could you kindly make me big for 1 moment, please?
Okay.
So, Attesticats, I have done a little research.
I think if I...
Yeah.
Okay, atheist cast.
Here you go.
Okay, sorry about that.
Here's your book. Hold on. Here's your book.
The book.
You can write the information down.
No, I've done the research. You talked
Really?
about
You've done the
Confucius, and
research.
Yes, and I reset right here on my first page. I reset
On the first page.
Sorry?
No, I kind of hate this.
I'm
So
listening.
you researched Confucianism in like 2 minutes.
I typed in key pointers. See, we can laugh all we want.
If you
As long
research
as
him, please tell me about
we're
him.
passing knowledge.
Hold on.
What am
tell
I
me about
telling
him.
you about him?
Yeah, tell me
The
about him.
only reason we're speaking about Confucius
All right,
is
let's
because
Tell
of the
me
statement
about
of
him. Tell me what he
forgiveness.
said.
Oh, they're
No.
long
Hold on.
tables. I
Hold on,
see.
please. Understand
It
that
does
there's a
make them look a
context.
little bit better.
The context was what has Jesus taught or that is different from others? I said I don't know. You then asked me, what do I like the most about the
I
teaching?
didn't say
that
a
I
single thing
follow?
about liking.
And I said,
That
I'm
wasn't
coming.
one of my questions at all.
So who asked the question?
No one asked that question.
No, stop that.
That's what
man.
I'm saying. I don't
No,
think you
no, no,
actually
no.
listen
Hold
to
on,
a conversation. I think you have a conversation
Hold
going
on.
on in your head, what you think was saying.
Artist, you don't do that now. If you have a conversation in your head, don't push
Ladies
it
and
on
gentlemen,
others.
did
It's a
anybody ask
personal
him about
thing.
what he liked?
No. It's a personal thing.
No.
Listen, I don't like how we
didn't
try
ask
to
that
configure
whatsoever.
words. What was your
No
line
one
of
asked
questioning
you
to
that,
me?
Parker.
What was your line of question to me? Stop being picky and funny. What was your line of question?
I'm
to
not.
Me?
You're the
We're
one so
adults.
mad about people. Hold on. You get so mad about people
That
misstating
is
stuff
not
about
what
you.
I said. Why would I be mad? Your question was, what do I learn the most or like the most about Jesus?
Mr.
And I
Parker,
mentioned saying forgiveness.
I didn't say anything about like.
That was my point.
Okay, I want to. It's late. Afro,
Yes, mommy. Those are donut piles.
I want to. I'll be rounding up.
I gotta
Please,
find
just
somewhere to
last
put them.
question, then I'll
I'm obsessed
move
with
out.
donuts.
Packers and the Christians in this place. Can you guys mention only 3 observable benefits? 3 observable benefits of you believing in Christ.
I can't
What
find
have
these
you
damn
contributed in Africa?
tables.
Thank you. So
You can ask Mariana. Mariana is a Christian.
Hang on, y'all. I'm a mode real quick.
So mention 3 observable benefits of Christianity.
Oh, you know what I could do? I
in
could add another
Africa
scene.
today.
I always go with 2 scenes, and I don't realize
If you
how easy
can.
it is to just add another
sorry,
one.
Mr. DB.
All right, let's
why
add
you
a
why you focusing on
scene.
Africa alone?
I be Daki now. I'm a black man.
Because he's African.
So
Because you're
I have to.
African. Okay,
Yes,
let me just
it's less than. It's called self-preservation. That's it. Okay. So self-preservation is allowed in
mind you,
our
God
world.
is not
Yeah.
okay.
No, what the hell is this?
Okay.
Mind you,
God is not what.
It's just a question, my darling. It's just a question.
I know, ma, I know. Mr.
Okay.
DUB, I want you to understand something. God is not about race. It's not
No,
about race.
Oh my.
Okay. You were not supposed
Gymnastic, yeah.
you basing to Africa. I see what you're trying to do.
No,
Then now
Okay.
what I'm trying to understand is okay. I have listened to the conversation.
Madam,
Okay.
he's not trying to do anything. He's just asking a question. Just please. Just
All right,
answer
y'all.
the
Let's mode
question,
real
I beg
quick.
you.
I just want to kick back
I
for a
asked my
second.
question. Let me
I'm glad
rephrase.
to have
Can you
y'all hanging
mention
out.
three less than 3 observable benefits of Christianity in Africa today?
Everything's coming along.
Are you sorry?
Quite well.
Before you go ahead, where are you from, please?
Okay.
Where are you from?
I'm an African.
Okay, in Africa.
I'm from Cameroon.
So okay.
Yeah.
Okay, from Cameroon. Okay. So this is our problem.
Cheers,
now, okay?
gang.
So mention 3 observable benefits of Christianity in Africa.
Hey,
Even
Sophia.
in Cameroon. Let me not go
Why?
much place in Cameroon.
Okay, can you make me understand
Cheers,
why you are
gang.
basing it in Africa alone? Because if this question you're asking is not supposed to be asked, why?
Okay.
Based on your understanding. This
Okay,
world
the reason why I'm
this
asking.
world,
Okay.
we are on earth
wait
for a
now.
temporary time. Okay.
Oh my gosh. You don't need for explanation. When you ask question, you see, I go straight to my point. I don't go around.
Okay.
You ask me reason why I'm asking you a question because Christianity.
Y'all see the colors in the airplane mode emoji? That's kind of what we're going for. We're kind of going for like sky blue and white, which is great because it's great airplane colors. It matches the emoji. It also is literally the colors of the actual sky. And then we can mix with different like blues and purples if we have to. But I'm kind of excited about the look.
attacking this Packer guy up here. Packer keys. You have been attacking him. People are trying to cover the. It's because you guys are not open to hear, and because you cannot hear, you cannot understand. You're not open to listen.
Sorry, we're not open to hear what is being said that we
All
are
right,
not
let's
open
jump back
to.
into it. Look, I got
Because
scenes.
the question, okay, ma,
Got
the question
scenes.
is asking me. You would have made sense if we were on earth to live
Oh
for
wait, this
eternity.
is the wrong thing now.
What?
The question DB asked, it would have made sense if we were on earth to live for eternity. We have just a temporary time here on earth. So the question is
Mariana,
asking,
missing the
what
point.
is she talking
Oh, I see. It
about?
switches what I'm
Wait,
sharing.
hold on.
That's
Wait,
that's
everyone,
lame.
hold on.
Shouldn't do that.
So wait, because we've got a temporary time on earth, you should not ask that question? What the hell?
Mariana, the point. So the point is
Reggie. Yes, Reggie.
trying
so
to.
frustrated. Listen, Parker, and it's mainly with him. Listen, Parker and Mariana, I've been sitting here listening
Look at
to y'all
all
for
them
like an
baked
hour.
goods.
Y'all will not answer no fucking body's questions. And every time somebody
are
starts
these
talking,
tables?
especially you, Parker, right? All you do is keep interrupting, right? Right?
They're
So when you were
long,
trying to
they're
get the
kinda
information from Atheist Cat, while he's
rectangular.
trying to answer you, right? You're
They're
sitting there
squat.
fucking crying and interrupting him while he's trying to give you the information that he's asking for. This is not neither one of y'all two's platform, right? Why are you here if you're not going to answer anybody's questions? Both of y'all are the two most irritating motherfuckers I've seen all week. Answer questions.
Ooh.
So am I the one that is crying, Nomad? Why are you being insultive?
No, I'm telling you because every
No,
time
you're not-
somebody
you're not
asks you
saying-
something,
you're being
every time
insultive.
somebody asks you something, right?
Insultive?
You
They don't even know
refuse
words.
to answer them. And every time somebody talks, you start interrupting them, right? And then when you're asking questions, when he's trying to give you the information, you're crying because he's trying to make sure you know what he's talking about.
Okay, you're done. So the truth is this: you're not listening. I have never
Oh,
interrupted
Lord.
anybody that has not interrupted me. If you ask me a question, you don't cut me midway of the questioning and talk. Right
is
now,
all- this
during
is
our
all
conversation,
believers
you
do.
notice that I kept quiet while you were talking,
Tone
and I never
police and
interrupted you.
complain.
When you're done talking, I would speak, and when I'm done talking, I'll leave the mic to you. He asked the question, and he tried to figure it out
Lauren.
because he tried to change the question because I mentioned life. in the
This
question.
looks like the right
His
tables,
question was
or
very
at least close
straightforward.
enough.
That's not the question I'm talking about. That's not the question I'm talking about. When
Can
he
I
asked
finish?
you about no, because you're
I
speaking
at
about
least know what
something I'm
to
not
do with
talking about.
these.
The question that
I
you
have not
refused
interrupted
to
anybody.
listen. The question
kinda
you
indoor,
refused
though.
to answer that he asked you was about homosexuality and Jesus. You refused to answer that. What you told him is, do you hear the question that you're asking me? Yes, he heard himself.
No,
And you
then
still
you were
have
not listening. You were not listening. The question was
fucking
almost
you didn't
his
answer him.
question. His question was directly at, is it a sin? And I mentioned my answer. My response is this: Jesus in the Bible never talked about it. I don't know why
Okay.
we're making it hard.
So Atheist Cat, ask the same question again. Atheist Cat, ask the question that you asked him.
It's still the same answer. I don't get it.
Somehow
Did
it's
Jesus
not
speak
it.
about it in the Bible?
Listen,
So
Parker,
why am I considering it a sin or not?
Parker. The reason why you don't get it is because you don't shut the fuck up when people are asking you questions. And when they do ask you a question, you just dodge it and say, oh, what kind of question is that? That's why you don't get it.
So my question to you is this: do you think when you use words like
I
"shut
still-
the fuck
you
up,"
still
I should
have
get
not
angry
answered
or
his-
something?
You still haven't answered his question. Answer his question. That's what I'm saying to you.
Jesus never spoke about it in the Bible. Stop trying to push people to being politically right or whatever you're trying to push. I don't get what you guys are trying to do.
Now, here's the other part.
This is the problem with the world. You don't want to take, you want to make sure someone is either on your side or against you. Or you're the same person here sitting and saying this or
That's what I'm
that.
talking about. Parker. Again, you don't listen, and all you try to do is just monologue about what you want to talk about. You still don't even know what he asked you. You know why? Because you won't, Parker. You won't shut the fuck up. That's your problem. You don't listen.
Why are you crying?
It's a two-part question, but you never answered the first part, so I could get.
I
to the
understood it perfectly.
second. Oh, did you? So what was my second question?
Yo, encourageable.
Go ahead. What was my second question? If you understood what I was saying perfectly.
May have forgotten it.
At this point now, this is just a
Is there someone else that wants to say something meaningful?
Yeah,
or you
forgotten.
just want to
Let's
jump
talk
around
about
and
it
for people
together.
to point fingers at?
the reason why I'm saying this, because I haven't asked a damn
I
second.
still have questions
You
for
won't let me
Marina
finish
before I
and
go
get
to
to
sleep.
that point.
Okay, can you see what I'm talking about when I say he has no knowledge to pass? He just wants to point fingers and say this person is wrong, this person is wrong, this person is wrong.
So that's the right chairs, gang. Oh my goodness.
Parker.
All right,
I already knew that Jesus doesn't talk about homosexuality specifically. What I was about to ask you after you would answer is, do you think homosexuality is a sin? Do you think there's an issue with homosexuality?
Yeah, I'd have kicked him too. Like, yeah, I agree, Maya. I would have kicked him.
Can you answer that?
And this question is not about
What does
Jesus.
that have to do with?
This is not about Jesus. This is about you. He's asking you what you think.
These people.
Okay, so wait, you've asked me a question. Can I answer now?
Please let him.
You want to provide more context?
That's what I'm saying, Parker. That's exactly what you're doing. You're like, what does that have to do with it? Just answer him, bro.
Can you see how you're interrupting me when I'm talking?
Okay,
then you try to raise the points that I am interrupting.
Oh, look, that looks like the
go on
table
and answer the
covers.
question, please.
Oh, there they go.
Like I said earlier.
Okay.
I follow
that's
the
them.
teachings,
Let's see.
doings, and understanding of what. Can I finish? Stop cutting me short. Can I finish?
There we go.
That's not what's That's not what he's asking you.
Stop framing.
All right, now we gotta actually go
No,
with
that's
stuff
not
that
what he's
looks good.
Can I answer?
All right, and then I
Go
gotta
on and
layer
answer,
it
but
right.
that's not what.
Okay,
Anyway, go
okay,
on.
I got it. We
Guys,
got
let's
it.
give him a minute.
Let's see.
Just 1 minute.
What do we
Let
want
him
to
speak,
do
please.
here?
1 minute. Go on.
I follow the teachings, understandings, and doing of one person, and
I
that's
like
Christ.
that reddish wood.
Now,
I
if he
guess. All right,
had
so
nothing
let's do
to say
this.
about it, why do you want me to have something to say about it? Why are you trying to push me to have an opinion, give an opinion to you about it when I have told you stop cutting me short? When I have told you that the person that I follow or I respect or I follow his teachings said nothing about it. Why do you want me to have a different opinion from what that person did? Does that make any sense to you?
So you have no opinion on it?
Okay, hold on. Let me.
No, Doctor, hold on.
Say.
No, this has nothing to do with you right now. Just wait. Parker, do you have no opinion on it?
Did you understand my answer?
Did you answer? You never actually answered my question.
Oh, God.
So I'm going to ask it again. Do you think homosexuality is a sin or wrong? How about that? Do you think homosexuality is a wrong thing?
I believe in the teachings of Christ. If he had nothing to say about it, I have nothing to say about it. Why are you trying to put a box?
Parker, then you are stating you have absolutely no opinion on it, correct? You're saying you have no opinion on it, correct?
I am saying Jesus had nothing to say about it. I have nothing to say about
it. I asked about you.
Hold on.
You heard me clearly.
Can I say something?
You heard me clearly. I have nothing to say about it because he had nothing to say about it.
Parker, wait a minute. Parker, do me a favor. What's your feelings on cell phones?
Artist Cat, please leave this discussion for another day. Let's
Stop being childish now. So because Jesus, the point you're trying to make is Jesus had nothing to say about it, so I should not have an opinion about cell phones. Was cell phones available in his time?
One moment, ladies and gentlemen.
You're not making any points now.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen.
You are not making a point.
The only person that gets to tell me to stop is a host or a mod.
Yo, I know this is supposed to be like kitchen stuff.
Now,
but this looks like a Tommy gun to me. I was like, is that a gun? Like, you know, like the little drum barrel here, little handle, little pistol grip. I don't know.
Of Jesus' teachings, which could include thoughts about things like homosexuality, which is why I'm trying to find out. Do you have any thoughts or opinions other than this one thing?
Yes, we all have thoughts. I have thoughts and opinions outside of that. That is one. Let me finish. Hold on. Hold on.
No.
Can you hold on?
I asked you directly. No, because you wanted to talk for another 5 minutes. So I asked you directly, do you have an issue with homosexuality? It's a yes or no question.
That's what do I have an issue? Do you have an issue with blacks? Do you have an issue with
Parker?
Don't say do you have an issue. If you're asking me what my thoughts and opinions about homosexuality, ask me that. Do not say, stop cutting me short. What's your name?
No, because Parker, that's what I said you was doing before I came up to Parker.
And let me respond to artists.
No, Parker, you
quiet. Stop trying to explain what.
That is so irritating, Parker. If you're not going to answer the question, why are you here?
You are buzzing my ears. Stop trying to explain. I'm not listening to you. Artist asked the question.
PC said I may not want the internet
Stop
today.
cutting me short. I don't know who you are.
I don't blame you. I'm trying to do this. I'm just trying to stay focused. It's so crazy.
That's pissing me off.
Just keep quiet and listen.
Give me the butterfly.
Let's keep it decent.
All right, so we're gonna delete the butterfly from
the
here.
people listening.
Thank you.
Let's think about it.
And we're gonna replace the butterfly.
So if your question is about how I feel or what my thoughts are about homosexuality, I can give you an answer. But you do not imply that I have an issue with homosexuality. That was what your question was. So that's what I'm trying to correct.
Something,
you don't come to people and put them in a don't know what. Your question was, what is my issue with?
I did not say
that I have an issue with it.
I did not say that.
Wait, I'll start recording. Hold on. Don't worry. You just said it. What is my issue with homosexuality?
No.
Oh God,
brother, answer the question. Answer the question, or if you want to answer the question, you leave it alone.
Mix things. Stop the implication. That's all I'm trying to point out to you.
Please, I don't care how much it is.
I see what they did.
Make a question if you want to, and I can answer. You cannot imply then say no.
I didn't.
I mean,
you got the question wrong.
Why are you lying? You implied.
No.
God of mercy.
Now he implied.
Your question was, why do you? What is your issue with?
What was your
question?
You know what, guys? Please, now let's. 80s cats, please don't imply anything. Please just ask the question again.
Just ask a question.
I will repeat the exact same question.
Please, the same question again, please.
But that's like empty.
What's your question?
What?
I don't like the fact that it's empty.
Do you think you?
Thank you. That's a question.
No, shut the fuck up for a second.
You don't speak to people like that, then expect a response.
No, but excuse me.
You don't speak to people like that and expect a response.
And you are talking over him. He's talking, you're talking over him. And say, oh, you don't need to expect a response. Come on, just let him get his question out.
So are you saying it's okay for me to call him an F word, a B word?
Brother, just mute for a second. Let him ask the question, and then you can.
Yes, you can.
Mute for a second. Let him get his question.
I don't hold anyone from saying anything. Let's just go on his card and ask your question.
There we go.
The question is, do you have any issue with homosexuality? I didn't say you do. I'm asking, do you?
His flabber is officially gasted, as Uncle Bobby would say.
His question is, do I have an issue with homosexuality?
Yes, it's a yes. It's a yes or no question. If you don't, the answer is
no.
no.
They look different, but they both got drinks. All right, cool.
Yes. You know what? God bless Reggie.
We did.
Do you have an issue with homosexuality? God bless Reggie.
Can I?
No. My king.
Looking good.
Do you have an issue with homosexuality?
All right.
No. Okay. Do you have an issue?
The next major
with
thing would be those little
I don't know.
these little kids tables.
Okay.
I know where they're
So
at.
it's that easy.
They're in like the school
Yes,
play
I do.
set area.
Do you have an issue with homosexuality?
No, I do.
Which I like because I want to do a cookout in here.
I don't know why
I do it.
So three of
Let's
you,
get it popping.
three of you have
simple
issues.
question.
3 of you have issues.
4,
with
8,
homosexuality. So,
12,
that's your answer.
16.
Yes,
Yeah, we can
responded.
fit about 20 people up in here
Parker has
Who has responded?
easily.
I never answered
Proceed
it.
with your question.
No, I thought you responded back.
No,
Don't worry, it's not about you. It's not about you.
I was listening to you.
I'm
Okay,
waiting
it's
for
not
Parker
about
to
you.
give a yes or no.
Just
Afro, he's sitting here lying. First atheist cat asked him what his opinion was. Then he went on a long rant like, oh, well, Jesus didn't have an opinion on it. So now why are you trying to force me to have an opinion on it? Now you're sitting here saying something different. Dude, you're lying.
Parker.
I never said anything.
Be kind to give a yes or no.
At host. Host. You asked
Etiscat, please, let's move on from this. You're not going to get anything from him.
I'm not going to get anything from him. It's disingenuous.
Let's move on.
This conversation is just one-sided. Can you just allow other people to talk?
Dr. Uno.
Wait a minute, Dr.
Sorry.
Who are you speaking
Can I
to?
just say something then? You know,
Afro, I learned you have a Cameroonian here. That's what brought me here. So when it's my turn, you call me.
Parker, shut the fuck up.
Generally,
please tap on the screens, everyone.
I don't listen to people that speak like you.
Oh God, come on now.
No. Why would I? I mean, you've been very clear, host, even with your takes and your counter questions, and I've loved it. It's been a very warm conversation.
Please tell me that's where she muted him. Tell me
God
she
is
muted
real.
him.
I'm going to church tomorrow.
God damn.
Well, that's after you pay me. How much coins were you going to send?
Listen, whatever you would have said, I promise. But hold on.
They kind of look like alligators. No, I'm kidding.
Allow the new stock. Yes,
all
we
right.
allow. Mariana.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Mariana from Cameroon.
Yes.
There's somebody. There's someone from Cameroon. My king, right?
Yeah, I'm from Cameroon. I'm in Cameroon.
My king. You're from
yes.
Cameroon?
Oh yeah, I am.
Oh yes, your my sister is here. Thank you, Reggie.
Yes. Hi,
All right, let's figure out
Mariana.
where to place these.
Hi, hello.
Oh, are you
All right,
aware of what is
one
happening
is
to the
probably,
northwest
like,
and southwest
right
of
next to the
Cameroon, or to Cameroon
Yeah.
at large?
Yeah, I am.
1, 2.
Do you
maybe
think
like
your
3
God
tiles
is
over.
aware of what is happening to Cameroon at the moment?
Of course, he's aware.
Is he just watching? What is his solution for that?
I can't tell you that. I don't know.
Gotta unlock it.
Okay, I can answer to that if you allow
So
me.
he has no. Are you from Cameroon?
I'm not from Cameroon.
I'm from Cameroon. I have
So
no answer to
you
that
wouldn't know.
because
Do you know what's happening in
I don't know.
Cameroon?
Bro, listen. It's not about
You're talking about the war, right?
Listen to me.
I'm talking about
I
the
don't
guy
know.
talking. The guy talking.
Listen,
Okay.
I have no idea what's
A
happening in
little up
Cameroon.
from
I'm
the
not from Cameroon. I've
tree.
never met anyone from Cameroon. But what I do know is that God is everywhere. He's omnipresent. You understand? What happens, what he can do in Cameroon, he can do in Nigeria, he can do in the United States as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm talking.
So
The
whatever
topic
it
I'm
is
talking about
happening-
right now, you do not know
Between the
what the topic is
trees.
about.
Bro,
So
it doesn't,
I would
it
rather
doesn't matter
I'll-
what the topic
Yes,
is.
it does
Listen
matter. You
to me.
cannot talk
My king-
about
my
something
king,
you don't
sorry.
know.
My king, sorry. The same thing that's happening in the northwest and southwest. What Dr. UNO is talking about is the same thing. A war is a war, regardless of where it's been fought. So what he's trying to say, it makes sense, actually. It makes sense. What he's trying to say makes sense. Because the outbreak of the war you're asking me, I said I have no answer to give you. If God, I know God is aware, and why he's not doing anything for now, I can't tell you that. But what Mr. Dr. UNO is saying is the same thing. A war is a war. It doesn't matter where it's been fought.
Okay, doctor.
Bro, sorry, I'm not from Cameroon, so I don't. I don't have to say on
UNO,
that.
answer for her. Answer for her.
Oh, okay, actually, it's no. All right.
All
So
right.
the reason
Now, cheers.
why it seemed like God isn't doing anything concerning whatsoever it is that
It
is
may
happening.
need to end up being on more than one layer.
I'm just going to generalize it right now. In the world at large, you get. I mean, all the disasters in the world and the pandemic and all manner of atrocities going on in the world is that we as humans, God has given us powers. He has given us powers to act on the world. You understand? So he has the power. Yes, he has the power to alter whatsoever thing that we have done with our own hands. But it is our responsibility, you get, as humans, that we have chosen to make this world a disaster for ourselves. Do you get what I'm saying? So it is not God's problem.
I'm asking what is the God doing about it? I'm not asking whether it's a man's problem or God's problem.
What God is doing about it is that God is creating, and God is
I like these
building
colored
men.
chairs actually.
God's building men.
No, it's not for specifically. One second. Specifically in Cameroon, right? It's billions that have gone already. That's not creation. That's destruction.
That is okay. Is it a God's problem? Is it God's problem? That's the question I want to ask you.
Yes, it is. This is a man's problem. I'm asking what's God doing about it. If, for example, you are a father, right? If you are a father, you see your children fighting to where they are unaliving
given
each
us
other.
free will.
One second. Let me.
I need to create a layer that goes under the table.
If you are a father, you see your children fighting where they are unaliving each other. You will intervene and make sure that that is not happening. That's why I'm asking, with all this unalivement, specifically in Cameroon, where kids are every day unaliving based on this, what's God doing about that?
I got your question. This question we only throws back to the matter of free will. You get so, and that is a very broad topic. If you want us to go into it, of course we can. But what's the main point there is that we have the power of choice. So we as human, we have chosen to take on the wrong path. So we have free will. God has given us free will. And someone asked earlier on if there's a place where God said He gave us free will. I can't remember.
Did you hear my question at all? I didn't ask what we have and what. Listen, I didn't ask for what we have and what we don't have. That's not my question. My question is, what is God doing about the? If you don't hear the question, I'm fully fine to repeat it again.
You listen.
I can repeat the question for you. Listen to the question.
I heard your question. I answered it. You're just paying deaf ears to my question. Listen to me. I'm going to answer. I'm going to repeat what I just said.
He did not ask you
I'm going to repeat what I just said.
Free will. He hasn't asked you anything at all about free will. His question is very simple. While all of this is going on, right? Please listen.
Is that how they put
While all of this is going on in Cameroon, what is God doing? Just what is He doing while it's going on?
All right.
What is He in the bathroom? Is He on the toilet? Is He having a shower? What is God doing while these activities are taking place in Cameroon? Please.
Where is this God of yours?
What is God doing?
All right, I want to put that basketball hoop up in this piece too. Where's the bug? Is everything showing?
Mr. My King, with the question you asked, Dr. Yuen,
Because it's weird that they didn't put the top of the
I'll
speakers.
tell you the truth, okay? I, for one,
All right, let's close the seating
He's a
off.
God.
We got
We are
that.
mere
We did
humans.
that.
We can never understand His ways. And when we keep talking, when the Christian would say, or when a child of God would say,
the question is, excuse me,
Yes,
Mariana, please. The question is, this is not about a matter of nobody, we're humans.
It's on the wall.
What God's
Oh, but the top needs to be
right
on
now,
the...
as we are speaking, Mariana, right now, what is God doing now? Now, as we are speaking, what is God doing now?
Okay, concerning the Northwest and Southwest case, right?
No, now, as we are speaking now, what's God doing now?
Ma, that's the question you're asking me. I can't tell you. I don't know that. I don't know what He's doing now. Because your question is like
you don't know. That's all we want to hear.
Pardon me to say that question is lame as fuck. That question is
it's
so
very lame. I don't understand.
You'll be asking what God is doing right now.
So, I'm sorry, but guys, I can't take this no more. So you guys know what God does, but then you know He doesn't want us to sin. He doesn't want us to do anything else. But then when we ask you what He's doing right now, it's lame. How dumb is that? How
Raskilo,
dumb?
you know everything. Okay, sorry. If you are a father,
God doesn't want
if you are a father,
He doesn't want to. But now, when you ask them, what is God doing? It's dumb as fuck. Okay.
And it's easy for them to explain.
And that coming from a Christian, imagine.
Baskilo, please. If you are a father, do you know everything if you're a father and you have a child, unless you're a child and you have a father, do you know everything your father does at every given second?
Your God.
Do you know what he does?
Let's put it on.
Do you know what he goes through?
Afro, let me answer. Let me put her to shame right now. I don't. Remember, your God is omnipresent. He knows everything as fuck. Think.
Yes,
Think before you ask me any dumb question.
I am not omnipotent.
Think before you ask me any dumb question.
I am a child. Did I tell being a child of God doesn't make me omnipotent? You need to understand that. Being a child of God doesn't make me omnipotent.
Stop speaking for him. If you don't know, you don't know. Just say you don't know.
If your father sent you to do something and you disrespect him by not doing that thing and you don't do it, you're disrespecting him, right?
Your father is not omnipotent.
How do you know? Did God tell you somebody is disrespecting him? How did you know?
Okay.
I think I can put it.
How did you know God is
in many ways? If I am your father and I send you to do something and you don't do it, you're disrespecting me.
I asked you,
Mariana, are you telling me that Holy
God
Spirit cannot reveal what God is doing right now?
Mariana, are you going to give me the answer to what God is doing for those people, especially the kids? 1 second, let me finish now.
Listen,
all right, now I gotta find the basketball
my
hoop.
king or anybody here, please, I beg you.
That's gonna take
if you
a
don't
minute.
know the answer,
I haven't seen it.
If you don't know what God is doing,
I know it should be with like the instruments, maybe
just
like
say,
instruments and sports.
It's very easy.
Maybe with the
If
fishing stuff.
You don't know.
I already told him because he's trying to.
I don't know if there's a way to see these
I already told him I do not know what he's doing for Northwest and Southwest now, and that's the truth. I do not know. But that doesn't change.
You could have left it. You could have left it at I don't know. But when Uno tried to answer the question, now you know.
And also to be told that question is dumb as fuck.
Yeah, that'll tell me if I go to
imagine the question he has been trying to answer the entire time. It's
a little complicated. Not really convenient.
My confusion here is coming from you. It's dumb as fuck, bro. And you're a Christian.
I told you I do not know what he's doing for the Northwest and the Southwest people now, and that's the truth.
I'm not for you. I'm not talking to you. I was talking to Uno who wanted to answer.
My king, just 1 second. Just 1 second, Mariana. Okay, you don't know what God is doing. Can God do something about it? Is the question, Mariana. Can God do something about it?
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
He can do something about it, but he's not doing anything at all about it.
God gave us mouths.
Can I just say something?
No, I'm not talking to you, please. I'm not talking to you. Because next thing you know, you will say my question is dumb as fuck. So no, I'm not talking to you.
The reason God gave us a mouth is so we could use it to ask and talk. We could ask and believe. And why the
children are praying every day and they are unaliving. You know that.
It's one thing, sir.
Of course, you know that.
Pray. And it's one thing to pray in truth and in spirit. It's another thing.
There it is.
Who are you then to tell that? Who are you then to say whether they are in spirit, in truth, and in spirit?
Okay.
Who are you to say that they are not in truth and in spirit?
I didn't say they are not. I say it.
Okay, if you're just using could here, it could also be that they are praying in truth and in spirit. Yet they are unalive.
Yes.
So one thing here is instead of using could, how about I don't know?
That's what I told you earlier, Mr. King. I told you I do not
know. No, you said earlier that you don't know. Then later it showed that you knew.
No,
you started answering again.
I wasn't responding to you. I was responding to Baskilo.
She's trying to tell you that there is no true Cameroonian Christian. That's all she's saying.
That's exactly what she said.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Okay, my king, I wasn't responding to you. The answer I gave you was I do not know. The other answer was
I will take that one. I will take that one. If you don't know,
he asked me what God is doing. I asked him for what God's doing now. And I told him I do not know. And that's the truth. Because what he's trying to ask me, he wants me to maybe tell him, yes, I do. And then I'll tell him something. Why? To maybe please him or to give him the answer he wants to hear. So
nobody is asking you anything to please them.
The question is just the one they asked you right now. You said there is no true Cameroonian who is a Christian, according to your answer. That's what you said. Because they're not praying on whatever in spirit or whatever you said.
No, she
How are you
said
gonna say
God.
that?
No, she said God gave us a mouth so we can ask. So me, I'm just thinking those people that are born with their mouth, not in the right place, and people who are born unable to speak. What happens then? How are they going to be able to ask?
Afro, the bad thing here is these people on a living, they're just praying. They pray every day just to live. That's what they are praying for. Pray every day just to live.
You know something, my king. You know something, my king. One second, Marina. I really don't know much about what's going on in Cameroon. I really need to go and do some investigation about. Is it really bad, my king?
It's really bad. That's why you see why I came over here. I was supposed to be at the comment section. When I heard that she was from Cameroon, that's what brought me up here. You see exactly what you guys are shading, talking of a God, yet you are in that kind of a mess.
Oh wow.
Oh wait, it looks
the
like
God
there's a little
can't clothe you
basketball
this
court
time
there.
that you are naked.
I get your point, my king, and I know what is happening in the Northwest and Southwest is really bad. It's a pathetic thing going on there. But I cannot tell you that I know what is happening, why God let that happen. Because Jesus Christ himself, he suffered in the hands of men. He suffered. He himself went through a lot. So when you're asking me that question, you're asking me right now.
I guess he did not suffer for you.
And then
He
there's
suffered
like a
for them.
grill.
Can I say? Wait,
I swapped them, but that's okay.
Mariana, your Jesus, he was upstairs with his father, right? And decided to come down, to come and suffer in the hands of men. So please, if your God knew he doesn't like suffering, he should have stayed up there where he was.
IPC will be
right?
here.
So to then say that
Sorry, I'm slow to comments,
Jesus
I know, 'cause
suffered in
I'm
the hands of men.
looking at
Jesus
this.
had a choice. He had a choice.
Oh, I should have put the basketball
He didn't
there.
have to suffer in the hands.
And then I
He
gotta find this
chose
little grill thing.
to suffer in the hands of men. So please don't put that on us. I beg.
Maybe it's an
Don't put
animated.
that
That'd be
on us.
easy.
Yeah, please next time say your Jesus chose to suffer.
You know the funny thing? The irony in this whole thing is he suffered for all of us, whether we believe in him or not.
Now you're talking.
Listen,
He suffered for all of us, but your people are they are unclothed in the village.
But what I don't understand,
he suffered for all of us, right?
My king, my king,
Go ahead.
my king. How
put
is it
this
that
on
she knows that he
details.
suffered for all of us, but yet doesn't know what he's doing now? Doesn't know what he's doing for the people in Cameroon. How does she know what she knows about God and Jesus?
This is why I was bringing up a minute ago.
Is because the Bible tells me so. I do not care if somebody believes in the Bible or not. I do not care if somebody believes in the Bible or not. The word of God stands. Whether we believe or not. And the truth
I
in this
actually
whole
want to point the question back at you that gave.
not everyone will say
Let her finish.
Not everyone will
check
say
these
to the end. My
drums
Bible
out.
tells me that Jesus Christ came down. He suffered for us for
Yeah,
a
you gotta
purpose.
switch
And
to the
despite
blue
all the
kit,
torture
Jay.
and torments he went through, his
We know the
eyes were
story.
fixed. His eyes were
I actually
fixed
really
on
like
the
the gold
reason
one.
why
I'll
he
put
came
that in a
down.
different
There were
room.
several points where Jesus almost gave up himself.
know
but
the
he did not
story.
because his eyes were fixed. It's not. Yeah, you know
My
the story.
sister. He also
Cheers, gang.
your God also told you to ask for anything in your
So
to
give me
ask
a
for
second.
anything
Hold on.
and she will give you.
Okay,
So why
give me
haven't you asked for these people?
one moment.
You
Just
don't
one
like
moment.
them?
Go on,
Just
80
one moment.
Sorry,
I'm going to
80s.
ask you. It's okay.
Hold
I'm
on.
gonna ask- Because you're trying to cite this as factual events. How
Alright,
do you
so
know
what's a little
Jesus
bit
even
weird?
existed on Earth? It's the same question I asked before because you're basing
Yeah, it's like
all
the
your
top of
claims
it is on the above
on the
layer or
story.
something.
Because
Yeah, okay.
the Bible told
Let me see how it works. I may
That
not
is
like
the
that.
story. That's the
I
story.
may or may
It's
not
the
even
evidence.
like that.
What evidence do you have that he doesn't exist?
Sure, a complete
Um,
lack of historical evidence.
It does look kind of cool with them behind it
a
like
complete lack of
that.
writings from historians of the time period, a complete lack of government records.
You asked him a question. He's
Oh,
answering.
and they made it
Let
all
him finish
impassable.
now.
Because if I was doing this, I would make
a complete lack of government records of such an
obviously
execution
play behind the
happening.
drums
A complete lack of information about the
so
miracles
putting them
happening,
on
complete
above
lack
works.
of information of zombies rising up from the town as you go
so
by Matthew.
cool, actually.
Complete lack of evidence
It
for
works
an empty
there.
tomb,
All right,
which
let's do
one
it.
is the actual empty tomb and not what Constantine found. A complete
All right,
lack
so
of
first
historical
we'll go
evidence
down to details.
leads one to conclude this didn't happen. Much
Make
like
sure that's
Goldilocks
selected
and the
and
Three Bears
unlocked.
didn't happen because we don't
Make
have
sure everything
evidence
else
of it.
is locked.
That is.
So
That
why
means there's no evidence.
So Maria or Marianne, when you keep telling us, when you keep saying he died for all of us,
Yes.
you now have to prove that he
All right.
existed for him to unalive.
Okay. Please, are you okay? I know you don't believe in God, but let me tell you something.
I'm a
God is
historian.
spirit.
Hi, I'm a
It's a spirit.
historian. Nope. I'm looking
The
for
human
historical
part
evidence.
of Jesus Christ
Mariana,
was over.
Mariana,
The human yes.
Mariana, you're
All
talking
right.
to a historian,
And then we
right?
lock
Yes, ma'am.
that
Yes, ma'am. I'm talking
Is
to a
up,
a
historian.
and then
teacher
we
of
go to
history. So
above,
just bear
Okay.
that in mind, okay?
Yes, no
figure out
problem.
which
Yes,
layer
ma'am.
it's
No
on.
problem.
It's on above
And I'm not trying
one.
to
We
prove I
unlock
know more than
just
him
that
or anybody on
layer.
this
No,
platform
it's
than
not
him.
about
That
whether
is
you
not
know
it.
more than him
I
or
am
not, but
telling, yeah, I'm telling
whatever
And
you
then we can just
say,
go over top of
and
it
yeah.
like this.
whatever
Sorry.
you say, of course. Anyway, please carry on,
Why?
Mariana.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Why? Sorry.
Why?
Lock that
So
up.
what?
Why did they introduce that Bible to Africa?
Yeah,
Hold
that's
on,
not the question at the moment. Hold on.
Victor, just hold on. We'll get to that one.
Right.
Okay.
So
All
go
right,
ahead.
go on. Victor.
Oh, I don't know
You're
how
Oh
to
no,
gonna
make
say-
a
Mariana,
stage
go on,
here.
Mariana.
So let's
Who am I
take care of
answering? So what's
that.
the question, please?
All
What's
right,
the
but
question?
also over here, we're gonna replace that.
Okay, you asked me about the existence of Christ, right? The evidence
Nah,
I
I
have
guess I would leave
of
the
his
piano.
existence.
It has the
Okay,
darkest one
I would have
there.
had an evidence if we went back to when he was a human, in human form. With your mindset
Nah,
right
fuck it.
now,
I'm
I would
gonna
have
change
taken you
it.
back. Had it been he was existing, I would have taken you to the city where he was existing because he was existing now in the flesh. But now he's in spirit.
Right.
This is the
I
truth.
understand that.
This is the
for
truth. And the
historical
only way I can
evidence.
show you right now, he's a spirit, and the only way I can make you see that he exists is if you open up your heart and mind. But now most
Okay.
people misunderstand the concept
And
of
now I'm
opening
going to
your heart
interrupt.
and the
Hold
mind.
on. I'm
It
going to
is not
interrupt
a
now because
physical
we're not going to be
opening.
talking about
It
evidence.
is not
then.
a physical. It is
What
not a
you're
physical
doing
opening.
is now I asked you, hold on, I asked you about evidence. What you are doing now is known as a catch-22. This comes from a book. A catch-22 is when you set it up that no matter what, you're correct. Let's take a look at it. If I go the way you want me to and just believe
No, it
it,
gets rid of that.
well, then
'cause
you're
that's in
right.
details as well.
But if I don't believe it,
Unlock
then you
it,
get to
place it
say that I don't
private.
actually have an open
No,
mind
it's
or an open
good.
heart. It's a catch-22 designed so that you
Now
don't
go
have to
to
prove your claim.
floor.
So we're going to throw that away.
In fact, hide details.
And we'll try this again. And I will rephrase it for
And
you.
let's figure out what
Is
layer
the
our
only
mat is
evidence you
on.
have that these
Should be
events
floor
happen
one,
around
probably.
Jesus
Yep.
is the Bible.
There are many. Yes, and
Then
I
you cannot
personally
make this.
experienced it on a personal level,
That's-
and because okay.
Total experience is not going to prove anything.
Let's just go
because
live for a
that's
sec. We made a lot of
you're not
changes
what the conclusion is
that we
here.
haven't looked at. Let's give it a whirl.
Then if the only thing you have is this storybook, you cannot make the claim that it is fact.
The only thing I have for you talking now, is a storybook. But it was somebody who is open to listen and actually hear what I'm saying.
You didn't hear a single thing.
My
I
brain
said,
is
did you?
fucked. Yeah, I
Something you're not
know.
trying to even understand me. Where if Jesus, the only
No,
evidence
no.
I give you,
One second,
if Jesus was
Mariana.
a spirit, if
Mariana.
Jesus was still in the flesh, I would have
Jesus brain.
But now
Mariana,
he's in spirit.
Mariana, please, hold on.
Okay.
If your Jesus exists,
Yeah,
right, and what he wants is for people to just be opening up.
Nope.
Now,
They
for
really
me,
think-
I'm
voice.
careful about who I'm opening up to, because you can open up and all sorts of things will come in.
Okay.
Right?
Wait, I want to hear
So,
this.
Hey guys, I don't know why you guys.
Welcome to Life Like Bunny. I am Bunny, the life that is of. Today I've got another video for you guys. If you've not read the title, today's video is me talking to the hot people. Me talking to general people, but specifically dirty for them motherfuckers. I hope you watch this in drones. To general the title. Today's video is me talking to the hot
This is looking good.
Talking to general people, but specifically dirty for them motherfuckers. I hope you watch this in drones.
I gotta figure out where unblockables go. I gotta place the basketball.
Racism is the only invention white motherfuckers
I kind of want to make that wood a darker color.
They will take credit for everything. They invented ancient Egypt. They invented Mesopotamia.
Oh, this was already set up.
They
That's
invented
nice.
Roman Greek. They invented Dakar. They invented Africa.
I feel like this was different though. Let me see.
They're the big white savior. You need capitalism. You need them in your life. Otherwise, you're back.
Well, I got disconnected.
Them motherfuckers, yeah? They will take credit for everything, but then you tell them, hey, you also invented motherfucking racism, and now suddenly we want to talk about reverse racism before we even talk about the subject in question.
Yeah, I think it's like a higher block. But where did this go?
Take credit for that too, innit? Yeah. When they told you in them books that you went and conquered people and what do you think the conquering was? You've watched movies, you've played video games, you've read books about what they called the young people, Vikings. They've told you about Vikings, and you've seen the little bit of whole movie about Vikings and how they went, raped, pillaged, were awful people without mercy. They just did the most horrible, gruesome shit to any village they've ever
original state.
And that's the same fucking shit that
Colton in Illinois. Colton is a MAGA caller, wants to discuss the Jimmy Kimmel situation. I almost said Kimmy Jimmel. Either, I've heard it said both ways. Colton, you're on the line with Javon and Jimmy. How are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. How you doing?
Just fine. How's the weather in Illinois?
We're chilling.
A lot of storms lately. A lot of northern.
I gotta figure this
thunderstorms.
out. I don't know what they did.
Yeah, and
how's that place that conservatives call a hell pit, Chicago?
Is that where you are?
Oh, Chicago is awful. I completely agree.
Terrible, right?
As someone who's been to Chicago, I loved it. Anyway.
Yeah. No, you weren't able to.
I mean,
walk
there's
out of
things.
the airport.
There's things to like the food, but the food's pretty good.
Yeah, but then you have to going from hot dog cart to hot dog cart under enemy suppressing fire the whole time. I mean, it's basically Beirut over there. All right, Colton, what did you want to talk about on the Jimmy Kimmel situation?
So I was compelled to call because you made a pretty good general comment that separates me from a lot of MAGA, and I think that you can agree with Donald Trump's policies without agreeing with certain decisions. So I kind of wanted to see what Jimmy Kimmel said if you had the quote available, because I honestly had not seen it yet, and I thought maybe talking about it with someone could be pretty interesting, and thought it could be interesting for your show to have a conversation with somebody who is neutral.
Sure. I wonder, before I tell you the exact quote, I wonder if you would tell me not what because you said you don't know the quote, but generally understanding, because I assume you're in a MAGA community, what category would it put you, would you consider it in? What are you expecting it to be like based on what you've heard? Are you expecting it to be a direct comment mocking Charlie Kirk dying? Are you expecting it to invoke Charlie Kirk's name and disrespect his memory in some way? What is the what kind of joke are you expecting it to be that was what the right has then said is worth firing him for?
If I've seen Jimmy Kimmel talk, I know he can be kind of, edgy, so I'm assuming that maybe he just made like a comment that some people took the wrong way. I don't think it's as serious as people are making it out to be, because people in MAGA
there we go, like an old beat up basketball court or something.
Love to talk about how liberals are too sensitive, but then they can be very sensitive themselves.
Indeed. So here's what I want to do. Before I read you the quote, I want to give you
That's
a
fine.
scale we're going to work with. And it's going to be a scale of 1 to 5. And 5 will be, oh no, fuck Jimmy Kimmel. He definitely deserved to get fired for that. Whether the government did, whoever did, he deserved, his head deserved to roll, metaphorically. And then 1 is going to be, that's what they got offended by. That's what bugged them. And I just want, after you hear the quote, for you to give me the 1 to 5, and then we'll talk more about it.
We'll put the basketball on.
The joke happens in 2 parts. The first part, actually, I would say, is even not so much a joke. I don't think it was even meant to be funny, but it was, we hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the pointing, there was grieving. That was part 1. And then part 2, on Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism, but on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this. He then
let's go
plays the clip of Donald Trump being asked, as a longtime friend of Charlie Kirk, how are you holding up?
Gotta have that
he responded with, I think very good. And by the way, right there where you see all the trucks, they just started construction on the new ballroom for the White House.
As though
he actually, if you watch the video, it's
you know, you know.
He barely was listening to the question and just wanted to talk about the ballroom.
Also, I got to put a keyboard on my desk.
It gives the impression that it's not affecting him at all, that Charlie Kirk is
That honestly sounds about right. Like, I've noticed one of Trump's tactics is
I like the soccer ball. I wish there was a goal
in another direction. That honestly, even without the clip, that doesn't surprise me. That sounds.
Would you say it's a tactic, or is he more like sundowning and just can't focus on anything other
let's
than
throw
what's
a
on
random
his
soccer ball somewhere.
I think it's a tactic only because he generally does that a lot. Like that's not the only.
That's why I don't know if it's a tactic or if he's just.
I think it's just him. I think
he's just finally sundowning.
I think he doesn't care about anybody else, even with his own. I think if his son died, he would try to think, how do I score points off of this more than anything else? Maybe Ivanka is the exception. Maybe he would feel worse about Ivanka the same way we all have conflicting feelings about the first girl we were in love with. But I don't know beyond that. I don't think.
Okay, that joke was pretty
really
good,
quickly.
Thank you, Colton.
Colton,
Well,
I'm just
let
wondering.
him give his score
like,
1 to 5 real quick.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say a 1 because honestly, it just sounds like a general observation to me.
Indeed.
Like to me, it doesn't even sound like
Colton,
it's trying to be funny. It's just a general observation, which I don't see the problem with a general observation.
I agree.
Do you think that the head of the FCC, Brendan Carr, should have gotten on a podcast and said that if ABC doesn't do something about Jimmy Kimmel, the FCC is going to come down hard on them?
I think that is government overreach. The government, the way I understand the First Amendment is it is freedom from being suppressed by the government for your speech. I will say that ABC was probably, the news networks were probably persuaded by the government to fire him, which is wrong. Because the way I understand it is the government cannot come after you for your speech unless it is like, oh, I'm going to kill the president or whatever, like a direct
Which
threat.
was an example
But
he was
you
giving
can't-
everybody.
but It is not.
Yeah,
it is
careful.
not protection from private employers. Like if you say something at work, the speech may not be protected by your private employer. You can still be fired.
Correct. Colton, if Bob
reprimanded,
if Bob Iger had fired him and there was no evidence of the pressure, which the evidence came months ago when Donald Trump said Colbert down, Kimmel next. But if there was no evidence of that and Bob Iger was just like, no, I'm not having somebody on the network, I'd roast the shit out of Bob Iger for being a whiny little pussy, but I wouldn't have gone, this is an infringement of free speech, which is right now, the popular opinion amongst the MAGA people is that, no, that's just consequences. The government is just issuing you consequences. And this is what the FCC is for the public good. That is their argument, with very few exceptions, though notably some exceptions that are honestly surprising. You know, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, it had to
Ted
make it
Cruz,
look like there's at least a base over
and
there
a
or
few
something.
others. I can't remember them off the top of my
No,
head.
I
And to be honest, you gotta have that
I
screaming
heavily
red lead
disagree
guitar,
with
right?
them
I mean,
because
come on.
the whole reason the First Amendment exists is so you can't be prosecuted by the government for your speech. That's kind of the whole point.
Colton, then you admit here, as somebody who is MAGA, you admit that the Donald Trump administration is engaging in government overreach.
Absolutely.
What about suppression of free speech?
I think that it is an attempt to suppress certain forms of speech, yes.
So can you give us something comparable?
Specifically speech he doesn't agree with.
Do you believe that Trump was still a better choice than Biden?
I think that from a mental health
we're like super close to being done. Oh, I fucked this up.
I voted for him because of better border security and economic policy. The reason that I voted for him on the border is that I had a teacher growing up. Her name was Ina. She was from El Salvador, and we did not like how people were able to so easily cross the border when she had to wait the due process.
Yeah,
she came in during the Reagan era. It was the 19th. I think she came in like 1984, 83. And so
where's the
other
one? Colton, why when you, so in that scenario, you have two people you could be angry at.
Oh,
you
I
can
pinned
either
it. I
be
forgot I
angry at
pinned
the
it.
immigrants who are doing it to survive. Like for the most part, if you look, the overwhelming majority are just trying to get a better life. They might be fleeing a hostile area, an impoverished area.
For some reason,
be
mine
angry at
isn't
them
working that
for
way.
bypassing a system that is built to be very hard to get through, or you can be angry at the government for making it so difficult to get through, and for creating a world in which our economy now relies on exploited immigrant labor. Because while it actually relies on that quote unquote illegal immigration and to be able to exploit a lot of that labor now. So why when those are the two groups you chose to be angry at, why choose the immigrants? Because it was harder for my mother came and she overstayed her visa just like most illegal immigrants do. There were no repercussions for her because she was a white woman with white kids. But if she was brown, obviously they're deporting people like her now, but not her. She's now a citizen, so that's easy enough. But even though she violated all of that, but why, when you're sitting and you're going, boy, there's a problem with this, why are you not scrutinizing the rules that make it so hard for good, honest people who just want a better life to get in, who make it hard for people who are hard workers but poor to get in? And why go for, I'm mad at you because I'm seeing you as breaking a rule that is almost made impossible to actually keep to unless you are already wealthy?
Because a lot of them, when they come here, are exploiting government systems, such as they're putting them on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And I will say, I am a legally blind American. I'm a legally blind American, so I live partly off of Social Security along with my part-time job, and seeing people exploit systems that people like me need to survive does not sit well with me.
This is weird. We've had two people call in as legally blind in the last 4 days, and the last one we caught lying about it. It's weird.
Well,
anyway,
at the end of the day, I just want to point out, Colton, like none of what you just said is happening, right? They aren't actually taking services away from Americans. They're paying more into the system than they're using. Well, they were. I don't know now because, now they don't want to pay taxes because if they do, they might get deported. But they were using ITIN numbers. They were paying almost $100 billion into taxes. And a rough estimate shows that they were really only taking in, they were really only using like $60 billion in benefits on the high end. So
still
they were paying more than they used.
Right. Not to mention even the ones who weren't using ITINs were still supporting the local economies, which eventually ends up in taxes as well. But again, what you just described there, Colton, was a problem with the system. Even if you go with some number of them, even if you were right and it was a net negative, why not be angry at the system when you still know most of them coming have the intention to be here to work,
all right, let's try
to support their families, and if just given a legal path with freedom from chance of being deported just because the government doesn't like you anymore, they would overwhelmingly do it, and we would skyrocket the amount that they are paying into the system, and that $100 billion that's already higher than the highest estimate of what they're taking would go up by so much more. I get these financially. Colton, I'm not mad
it
at you because I think you've fallen
because it
for
blocks
what is
their-
essentially the
and then
easier
that is
way
effectively
to make a
not
person
rendering
politically
above
radical
me.
on one side or the other. I can give you a bad guy that you feel like you can affect and change, where you can see that their life is more inconvenient, that the bad guys are getting the stuff, rather than try and point you to a bad government, which will feel impossible to change. But you feel like you can change the lives of these bad guys that you think exist, that don't exist in the numbers you think they do. But it feels like you have the power there. It's much why cancellation works too, and why I'm more at risk of being canceled by members of my own audience than I am by opposition, because it's people go for the people they think they can actually affect and harm. I think you've just fallen for a scam, a MAGA scam, Colton.
Unfortunately,
I honestly see where you're coming from. I agree to disagree. I'm not going to go off on you the way some of these idiots do.
Wait. I don't just say you agree to disagree, though, Colton. Like, ground your disagreement in some type of anything, right?
Like a fact.
So I see the issue as, even if it is the government's fault, that's not an excuse.
Oh, you know
to
what? It
take
could have a
advantage
collision property
of
set
a
on
broken
it.
system. That's like saying, well, there's no cops around, so I'm gonna speed and cause a car accident. Like,
who's more likely to take advantage?
There, it doesn't make
Who's more likely to take it?
Wait.
Go ahead.
I don't know. She said she'd be right back.
How are they taking advantage of a system that they
Maybe
pay
she might have gone to live. I don't know, but I don't know who's live.
It's more of an analogy of, just because there's not something over there to regulate it doesn't mean that you do it.
Colton, you're basically bummed out that there's inadequate paperwork, and that's because the government won't allow it. Like, that's what you're bummed about here. They're not taking advantage as a net. So you have individuals you're upset at. That's what I said is the scam, when the greater positive, it's a greater positive for us. And if we would just give them,
I can try bringing it down.
It'd be an even greater positive. But you're like, just look at American citizens versus quote unquote illegals.
And then I'll try collision.
American citizens are more likely to both commit crimes and take advantage of systems, whether they need to or not, including amongst the people who are the lift yourself up by your bootstraps. I wonder, Colton, if you'll know the answer to this. Who of the top 10, let's just go with 10, the top 10 states that use the most welfare, are they red states or blue states? And when you answer, by what proportion do you think it is?
I would say, if we look at the most expensive and biggest economies in the country, so that would go California.
I don't know why you're. I don't know why. Was that, Colton? Was that my question?
See, you want a more general answer. I would say it's a combination of both, but more blue states, as blue states have bigger economies.
So as far as, if you want to go with a flat number is no good. You have to go with percentages, because it actually tells you another story. Per capita, 8 of the 10 states that are using the most welfare are red states. And by the way, the blue state that you wanted to point to, California, while you might have a higher number of people, overall number of people on welfare than you do in Mississippi, which is the highest per capita, Mississippi takes more from the federal government than it pays in, where California pays the federal government more than it takes in. In other words,
almost every red state.
Right. Not only is California covering their own welfare by the money they're paying in, they're also paying for the welfare in Mississippi, in Kentucky, in Alabama, in Tennessee, because the blue states have a surplus and the red states have a deficit. So the red states have a higher recurrence, higher percentage of welfare recipients than the blue states, even though these are the blue states are often the states that you guys think that, illegals are taking away from the systems and everything. And yet they're generating disproportionately more income than they are taking from the government.
Yeah, the only red states that I think
I'm too far back.
I think it's literally just Texas and Florida are the only red states that don't. And that's Florida is because of Disney. If Florida didn't have Disney, they'd be screwed. And Texas is just because it has 3 really big cities.
Florida's economy was also built on. Hey, we're getting echo back, Colton. If we're on speaker, you got to kill that or something.
Okay.
The blue. Remember too that Florida has switched between red and blue, and if you want to track to policies that caused their economic boom, it was all the blue policies that got you Disney and the like, and the red ones are the ones that have decreased growth and increased inflation, much like Donald Trump.
Absolutely, Florida was a swing state for the longest time.
All right,
correct.
We'll save that.
So I just want to. I still think we need to boil down to something here, Colton. You voted for your MAGA. You support Donald Trump. You support the MAGA movement. You don't support their current attacks on free speech. I assume you don't support a lot of their do you support stripping people of their legal right to be here if those people speak out against Palestine?
Control click.
Like this administration has been doing to people Mahmoud Khalil and so many others.
I believe in deporting people who absolutely take advantage of systems, but if you're speaking out against Palestine, I think that you have freedom of speech to do that if you're here.
Okay.
Because the laws apply to everyone. So if you are here.
All right, let's
if you're
pull
only
up the
for
chat
deporting
GPT.
people that take advantage of systems, then you wouldn't be for deporting undocumented immigrants. You'd be for deporting anybody from a red state.
Damn,
because the red states are red states are historically take advantage of this system of federal taxes by not paying in as much as they take in federal aid.
What actually happens everywhere? It doesn't just happen in red states.
Just way
it's
more
not
in red
about
states.
where it happens more. It's not about the proportion.
It
It's
is.
about the issue itself.
It's
It
both.
is, though.
It's both. It is absolutely both. And it's ironic too, because the red states will vote against their continued access to welfare, even as they are disproportionately taking it and having it paid for by blue states.
The domino effect is funny, isn't it?
It's weird. I think you mean the horseshoe effect.
The horseshoe effect. Yes, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. Colton, what I'd like is, because we have other callers lined up and only so much time to do it, what I'd like to do is go back, watch the call again, think about the things we've talked about here. And I'd love to have a follow-up conversation. If you want to do, Javon and I will both be back next Sunday.
Red states suck the motherfucking country dry.
I've had a good time. Right now, you've had a good time.
And then they turn around and I'm against federal services.
Conversation on this, and after you've certainly, if you want to go check on some data,
I support
and stuff,
states' rights and small government,
say, or further follow up on any, because I think it will have to be upon that basis. My goal will honestly be to, dare I use the word,
building a wedding venue,
to recognize that people and immigrants aren't the problem. The government is.
I gotta get him out. And actually, we can ask about that while we're here with ChatGPT.
Is the problem, and no one is worse than countering their values than being hypocritical when it comes to. We literally right now have the largest government we've ever had.
Actually, we might be able to do the image map again.
President. So if you're a citizen, the amount of government in your life has dramatically gone up. But if you're a business, it may have gone down, except for the tariffs, which are skyrocketing for you and increasing your taxes like crazy, even as they're doing the tax breaks for small businesses, which will be offset in a way that mostly affects the poors. It's Colton. It's a wild thing. Can we do that? You want to follow up with us maybe next week?
We might be able to. Well, we would see what we didn't gather that me and AR figured out was we had. You can think of the maps like the ones we're building now actually as what would the word be? For lack of a better way to put it, horizontal maps. Like these are two-dimensional maps, right? X, Y. You guys get what I'm saying? And you move around the floor and you move around the dimensions. But what we also figured out to do was to make what I would call vertical maps. And like our Saturday Night Live stage, remember we had the SNL stage. So what we did with the SNL stage was like we had, it looked very similar to this, but basically what we did was we had the map. So you would walk over the map, but then we just had it like we created like the edge, like the stage front would be here. So even though it was X, Y, the image actually looked vertical, right? If that makes sense. And so then we created like a ladder over here. And then you could take a ladder up to the rafters, and then you could be on the stage. And then we even created a little alleyway to the drum kit. So I got to figure out if we can do that, like the image import thing into tiled. Because then we could similarly use two-dimensional images to make the maps. There probably there's a way to make an 8-bit mountain. I don't know how great the mountain tiles are. We'd have to look. I mean, you could definitely simulate it. There's a lot of different surfaces and stuff, but we're gonna look up some other tile sets to see what's out there. These are just the defaults.
We pray that our rulers here. Okay, I think we get the gist. I like how men are both the protagonists and antagonists. Women are just along for the ride. God saved the president, but wanted the
men on men action.
Right, wanted the firefighter to die at the rally, and then I guess also had to sacrifice Charlie Kirk for this moment is the implication from Benny Johnson.
He works in mysterious ways.
I mean, so this is what they do. This is what is Christian signaling, Jesus signaling, and this is what, as being an atheist Democrat in a red state my whole life, I see that these politicians do. And when you think about people in rural America, they don't fucking know what's going on in Gaza. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
Bring your crampons.
They don't care. That is the part of rural America is simply, you get up. My husband's from rural Oklahoma. He's a criminal defense attorney. And he said, you get up, you try to, grind your way through your day. Nobody's making any money. Everybody's broke. Half the people
I didn't know that
meth,
they put a permanent ladder there.
And then you say, who can I blame for my shitty life? Fox News serves up who you can blame, who you're going to scapegoat, those immigrants, those trans people, those drag queens, those lesbians. We had a guy who ran for Senate in Oklahoma, and he campaigned in rural Oklahoma that lesbians were a huge problem in eastern Oklahoma, which I would say there is kind of a fine line between cowgirls and lesbians. Sometimes you're kind of like, could go either way. But they Christian signal, and it works with them because their only form of culture or home or social life is in these churches, and the churches are hell, fire, damnation. You're no good. You need to be saved. And so for me, I was not surprised that Christians clung on to Trump because I've always been at the top of prayer list. Everybody's always been trying to save me my whole life. And they are very primed for this type of cruelty talk. When friends would take me to go get me saved, the preachers sound exactly like Donald Trump. They sound exactly like Benny Johnson. So it's familiar.
I know you've spoken about this a bit with your co-host Pumps about her upbringing versus yours. Her growing up in a more traditional Christian household in the United States. Like, how has your friendship kind of informed that? One, and two, if you could expand on the element about churches only being like the only form of community, because I think that's really important. It's why cities are so scary to, I think, conservatives, is because you interact with all different kinds of people and you're in such close proximity that you have more options to form community. Although I think capitalism largely limits it because we're so
save it to the clipboard
on a razor's edge about our next paycheck or whatever. But like that element, I think, is really important. And this is a very drawn out question, but when I used to go cover Trump rallies, I was going to one Trump rally a week in the lead up to 2020. And it felt like when I went to mega church with my aunt, like
Wait, I think I may have figured out how they did it.
And it is a form of community, a perverse one, but it's because there are no other ones.
Post the picture first.
Totally. So, I had a really unique upbringing. My parents, atheists. I don't know why we were in the buckle of the Bible Belt, but we were. I was born in Dallas, then moved to Oklahoma City when I was in grade school. And my parents traveled all the time, but I grew up around all of these really religious people. And so when and I never fit in with them because I was never indoctrinated. You know how today the rapture is supposed to come on Christian Talk? They're talking about it.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if we got raptured just right here on air?
Love it. I mean, two Oklahoma atheists. City would be so tolerable. I want it to happen. But I remember when I was in 8th grade, I was a Brink Bobcat cheerleader, go Bobcats. And everybody that I went to middle school with was like, the rapture's coming, the rapture's coming, the rapture's coming. I
it's
told my
not
mom, she go,
flipped.
oh, for God's sakes, Jennifer, that's ridiculous. These Christians are so intellectually stupid.
All right, never
And,
mind.
you know, the football game came and went, the rapture never came. But there's this, it's this
Notice the
cult-like thing,
map
and there's all this
I'm
pressure to be involved
making.
in it. I'm so grateful that I was
Blue
never
drums.
indoctrinated in it, because what
I'm
we have right now is a
standing
bunch of people
on the
that are
drum
suffering
set.
the consequences of religious abuse. And
Notice
my
the
co-host,
map
Pumps,
I'm
she suffered the
referencing.
consequences of religious abuse. Now, her parents didn't set out to do this.
Red
The structures that they
drums.
were raised in
I'm
earnestly set her to
blocked.
be raised in the same structures. But if you're
I'm
told
standing
when you're
on
born that you're inherently bad,
the drum.
and I had a boyfriend in high school, Emma, whose dad was a Baptist preacher, and he got grounded for 3 months for beating off when he was 16 years old. Like the shame of that is
What that
incredibly
does to you.
collision block
abusive. And so then you see Grindr crashing, and you see all of these MAGA
where
people
the
that have all
drum
of this
is.
child essay
I
stuff on
won't
their
be
phones.
able
And I think
to
you have like a
stand
mass
behind
psychosis of
the
people that are
drum set.
suffering from religious abuse. So when they have things like this, where they can all get together to feel normal, and then
They're
the
doing something
propaganda
different
administration knows, they know
in the
exactly what
reference.
they're doing by using religion
And I
in
didn't
this
spell any
way.
of that right.
And there's so many people, this is all they know. And I think this is what's so insidious about what Charlie Kirk did. He knew, and the
What
people
up,
that
Chris?
funded him knew,
3
that
months.
for all of these megachurch people in suburban rural America, they did exactly what their parents told them to do. They prayed at the flagpole. They did Bible study, circle jerks, etc. Circle jerk, pun intended. Pun
Metaphorically.
intended there. Right.
Yeah.
And so then they go to college, and that's the first time they're free. They're liberated. They can maybe make their own script. And that's what's so dangerous and insidious about what Charlie Kirk did. They intentionally wanted him placed at a time where free thought could be uninterrupted. And he went there to interrupt it in Christian signal.
Yeah,
And
this is why.
so,
This is
you know,
why.
the right always
Honestly, I got to tell you guys this. It's insidious because it's like, oh God, it's like they can't leave young people alone. They hate learning so much. They're so threatened by the existence of colleges because they know that kids are going to go there, learn shit, facts, be exposed to other people. So it's so disgusting that we're now pretending that you have to hear from fascist, bigots, racist, and fucking preachers and fucking Christian apologists, like that all of these people have a fucking role to play on campus. And it's just this cucking. It's just like this cucking that every fucking institution has to do to the fucking conservative interest, because that's where the power and the money and the public sentiment has been for so many generations. And this is another part of the problem why so many people on the left need to stop Christian signaling. It's really annoying that the left is trying to out-Christian the right. And this is part of the fucking problem. This is what it leads to. It leads to fucking state fucking funded fucking public universities having fucking religious fascist on campus and pretending that that's somehow a fucking enrichment activity for college students. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Now we've got bigger problems, which is, you know, some shit like this happens. Now you got all these new fucking Turning Point USA chapters on all these different schools and high schools and colleges. And that does give you a more legitimate presence on campus because, again, students are allowed to have student groups and interest groups and extracurricular groups and affinity groups and all of this type of shit. You know, there's always been that. The college Republicans, college Democrats, the fucking Christian Campus Alliance, the fucking Muslim Students Association, all that good shit. So, you know, when they have their legitimate organizations, they are legitimately allowed to reserve space. They are legitimately allowed to hold speakers. and have events. So it's like, again, we've made a way for them. We've sort of, now they have even more legitimate access, which is fucking annoying. We should have put our foot down when they were outside agitators, because we can make a firm case that they have no business on campus. But once a registered student group wants to invite them, it's a whole different story.
Accuses us of virtue signaling, and probably we're guilty of that. And I don't think that's something we should necessarily apologize for. But weaponizing your faith against people who inherently have some questions, like,
yeah, exactly. PC, let them
load
fucking
up all those
learn.
animals and
Leave
get on the
them
boat. Like, I
alone.
have friends that literally believe that. Pumps, my co-host, she told me one time she thought people lived to be 950 years old.
Wow.
And she'd been to law school. Imagine that, been to law school, but was indoctrinated not to critically think, not to ask questions. And that's what's so egregious and horrible about Turning Point's activities, is they're stunting the growth. And then you're going to have more broken, damaged people, because that's the perfect petri dish for MAGA to get all of their supporters.
It is interesting to me too how the relationship with Trump also almost mirrors, not to psychoanalyze them too much, but it's kind of fun, mirrors a relationship with almost like an abusive father, where it feels like love, where he's abusing them and you just take it because there's no, I feel it seems like, healthy emotional reaction or critical thought that
But
could
Emma,
allow
I think
you
it's bigger than that. I think it mirrors the relationship with the Old Testament God.
There you go. There you go. Well, I mean, he stands in as Jesus. And you heard Mike Pence. I don't know if you read that interview with him a few years ago, back when he was still vice president. He described how, Trump is this imperfect vessel, but he feels like God is speaking through him, and serving him is like serving God. And I don't know how you get from point A to point B, except for the fact that Trump is like charismatic and omnipresent, charismatic in his own perverse way, and leading a coalition of religious fundamentalists.
Yeah, I mean, I was not surprised, because when all of my friends were trying to save me when I was in junior high and high school,
No,
and I
I
would
did all this.
lie to my mother and say, I'm going to go spend the night with this person. She'd be like, don't go to that church. Of course, I immediately went to the church because I wanted to fit in with my friends, right? And so I remember this one church I went to in particular. It was called Crossroads Cathedral. And my friend Shonda and her mother drove me there, and they were working class people. My family was more upper middle class. And Shonda's mom worked at UPS, really sweet lady named Debbie. And we pull up to 7-Eleven, and she has a cup in her car full of coins with a $20 bill at the top. And she said, you girls pump the gas and one of you go pay. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go pay.
All right, I'm not
Shonda, you
super
pump
worried
the
about it.
gas.
It's
So I
not a
grabbed the
huge deal.
$20 bill. I'm going to take it into
That's
7-Eleven. She wants to put $5 in. She goes, no, Jennifer, that 20 is
I
for
honestly
the
don't think
pastor.
the guitar
It's for the
should be
church.
blocked.
Count out the coins. And so I was like, well, that's fucked up. But I did as I was told. I counted out the coins. We pull up to Crossroads Cathedral in South Oklahoma City.
No, show me the
And right at the same
collisions.
time, this white Rolls Royce pulls up. And this guy gets out, Pastor Schaefer is his name, and he has on a white suit and a white
All right,
mink
I think
coat.
that's it.
His wife gets out, and she has total Tammy Faye vibes, Righteous Gemstone. The big
All right,
eyelashes, a white mink coat. We go inside, and they start doing all this Bible thumping and talking in tongues and talking about demons and all this fucking crazy shit. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever been around. And here's
Let's
Debbie,
find that
who had a
guitar.
black
The
eye because her
top's
husband had
being
roughed
cut
her up a
off.
few nights before, giving $20 to this grifter, this total lying sack of shit, Pastor Schaefer. And so when Trump started doing that, I thought, this is familiar to them. This type of abusive, lying, grifting
These points are
relationship
so good.
is familiar, and the cognitive dissonance that it takes to both love your pastor and overlook all of his moral, obvious shortcomings is very familiar to this base. So I think that my perspective, having been raised in the Death Star, I'm not shocked that Christians like him. I know people on the coast were shocked. I was not shocked one bit. He's mean. He traffics in cruelty. Every single church that I went to where my friends tried to get me saved, the same thing. It was the same kind of talking, rambling, whacked out shit that Trump does.
He is a glorified megachurch pastor.
He is.
basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that is fascinating. That really
fucking gross
solves a
one.
lot of, I think, questions, that maybe people have about
lot
that
of
relationship because of,
questions.
all of the things that should be antithetical because of his complete, depravity individually. That all got washed away for that reason.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit
All
the
right.
subscribe button
I
and
think
check out
this is
our
more or
daily
less
show.
good.
We do it every day at 12
We can
p.m.
throw a couple
Eastern
details
for
on
about
it
2.5
for shits and
hours.
gigs.
We even take fun.
And we're fine to move on. All right, I'm excited. Actually, feels good. Is this Chad Smith playing the Chad Smith signature snare drum? Sure is. It sure is. Oh.
Let's see, Justin.
Why do I
in,
watch this shit?
Where is it? Colorado.
I know
my old
I
stomping
like
ground
watch
from the good old
content. I hate all that.
303. Justin,
reevaluate
Colorado,
my
you are
life
on the
choices.
line with Jimmy and Javon. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Just fine. How's Colorado this time of year?
Where'd that plate of donuts go?
It's wonderful. Leaves are changing. We just spent some time up in the mountains with my boss, going on a drift trip, catching fish.
Hell yeah.
It was awesome.
It is a lovely place and a place I probably intend to return to. All right, I'll let you word
I'm
your
super
point
blessed,
yourself.
so.
A lot of food here, but I don't think this was it.
I'm sorry?
I'll let you go ahead and give us the wording of your argument. Oh, I should have said Justin, Colorado, you're on the line with Javon and Jimmy. I don't remember how I did that. Go ahead. What is the case you're here to make?
Yeah, so I was
pastries,
just I was calling in because
pies.
I widely disagree with the claim that Christianity is bad for, and I'm not going to get into MAGA quite yet. I can, but I think it's widely incorrect that Christianity is bad for the country.
Great. I disagree. I think it's bad for the country. I think it's bad for the world. And I think it
bad for
begins
people.
with the
It's
root of
fucking
because it's
bad.
untrue, believing in things that are
Jesus Christ.
untrue. Begins with it being bad, but also because I think that you can see the pattern of the development of our society, both on the world scale and on a local scale, and that every time we get better, it seems to be in the direction of something like secular humanism and away from something like the morality that was laid out in the Bible, and that the Bible actually slows that down.
How you could
because
not have this
you need to not
analysis of
only
history
progress,
is
but
fucking
figure out a way to
ridiculous.
cherry pick the Bible to make it fit whatever progress and not be even opposed to the progress, like the people who were opposed to abolishing slavery because it was a biblical precept and therefore would be anti-Bible. I think it actually slows down our progress, despite the fact that there are progressive Christians who exist who I think are not as threatening. So what would be your case that it is good for America? With that being my case, that it's bad.
My case is right. I mean, on July 4th, 1776, when they founded the country, it's written in the very beginning of the
there's the rubber
Constitution that we hold
duckies in
all
the
these
bathroom
truths to be
stuff.
self-evident, that all men were
A
created
little washer
equal,
machine,
that they
a
are
little washer
endowed
and
by their
dryer.
Creator with certain unalienable rights. That
Mhm.
among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now that
Right,
is
when are we getting to the
Plenty of
Christianity?
TP. This must be from
Well,
COVID
it's
right here.
talking about our
This was
Creator,
there's
and
pandemic
now
on the brain.
the country
No,
is
but
founded on
creator
Christian
isn't a bit.
principles.
Creator is not an exclusively
Ooh,
Christian principle.
skateboard.
In fact, that's absurd to say so because creator predates Christianity. Christianity's basis coming from things like Judaism, and before that, certain forms of polytheism. Actually, Judaism early on was polytheistic, as was a lot of Christianity. And then before that, even more basic forms of theology like animism. So you can't say it's because of the use of creator, which all scholarly evaluation has also pointed to that they weren't being literal, that it is more of a concept and a common phrase of that time. And you can't go with the Christian principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness because the Bible only suggests that those things belong to certain groups, certainly not women, certainly not the wrong ethnicities, certainly not. And in fact, those were Enlightenment principles. It was Enlightenment principles that the U.S. was founded on. And it was the way in which Christian organizations were violating those those principles. That's why America exists in the first place, and why the things that you're quoting were written by a deist who actually didn't find Christianity good, and supported by one of the founding fathers who had signed the Treaty of Tripoli, stating outwardly and straight up, John Adams signed
I'll take one more look
his
and then I'll
statement
just put
saying the United States is not, and this was ratified, by the way, the United States is by no means a Christian country. So I don't know who has lied to you. I assume it was somebody in a church about what you think the basis of the creation of this country is, but that you are extremely mistaken.
I do want to point out that when we're, just really quickly, Justin, I just want to point out that you're talking specifically about the Declaration of Independence. So just to expand on what Jimmy said, the Declaration of Independence was written by Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson did not believe in the Trinity. He did not believe in miracles. He did not believe in Jesus, like the divinity of Jesus. He literally created his own Bible in which he cut out everything supernatural. The Jefferson Bible, he took it all out. He believed specifically, like Jimmy said, he was a deist. He believed that the way that we should be working on using religion is just a guide for ethics. That's it. He didn't believe we should use it for some sort of faith leaning.
And the worst part is,
I think that the mere point of him using that as a point of ethics, right, is, I mean, in the 13 original states, like, it was required that you had to have some type of like Protestant Christianity. And in order
Justin, a point of ethics after he cut out so much and got rid of the ethical claims of the first book almost entirely. So we are talking about, hey, here's a basis upon which a lot of people believe. Let me modify it to make it palatable. And by the way,
look,
the means by which you would have done that would have been engaging some sort of empathy and a system that looks more like secular humanism to decide what to get rid of and to keep. But the funny thing is that this is a distraction from the original thesis of the call, because you could just point to a different country that is definitively a Christian country, and I will still say they should get rid of the Christianity and go for something like secular humanism that means that humans are the things prioritized. The citizens' well-being are the things prioritized, and get rid of the magic and the mysticism. You could have pointed to England and go, England's definitely founded as a Christian country. It's in their constitution. They're all in their parliament. They should definitely get rid of the Christianity there. Secular humanism will be superior in every way, because everything we do that improves society is, once again, trying to swing a pendulum more toward humanism.
Well, let's get back to the basis of the conversation, which was that I think Christianity, even to get rid of Christianity, I think is completely against what, you know, a lot of leftists believe, and that is equality for all, right? That's what
incorrect. I believe it is very equal.
Genesis 1. Okay.
Excuse me. Hang on. No, Justin. You don't get to make a false statement and just keep making your point. Justin, you don't get to just make a false statement about my position. Yes, you are. You are saying the way that getting rid of Christianity would be against what leftists believe, but you aren't defining what getting rid of Christianity is. So you are trying to move forward with this very poisoned well, presuming that we're saying get rid of it by force.
I think this feels like baked goods.
Okay, so
great. We're not saying that, Justin. So now go ahead and make your point without that being the basis of your argument.
Yeah, no worries. You know, I think a lot of the downfall of this country has come and is because of this whole race hate and other people, you know, pushing hate on other races and
like in the Bible
status in our country. I mean, the Bible doesn't say that. I mean, in Genesis, hold on. Let me finish. I've been respectful enough to let you go, and I've listened to what you said.
I haven't asked you to do that. You know, you haven't let me go. I can literally control your microphone. I have let you speak. That's not how this works.
Okay. Well, yeah, but if you wanted me to make a basis on my claim, and so when I read out of Genesis 1:27, it said, "So God created man in His own image, in the image of God created He him, male and female He created them."
And what did He say about the Canaanites?
About equality right there, and I'm wondering what is so what is so divisive about saying that God created in his own image and equally at that?
There's nothing divisive about using the one verse. It's divisive to ignore the rest of the Bible that racists use to justify their racism, like the curse on Cain, like the Canaanites in general, like
I would argue
all
that
of the
those aren't
times
real
in the
Christians.
Bible that it is okay to commit genocide.
Are you asking
if
me
it's
about
protecting
Avatar?
the Jewish
Shivani?
people.
Oh, what are the
like
races
that
of
would be
Avatar?
where
It is
you're
not. I mean-
ignoring. You are cherry picking the part that sounds good and ignoring all of the surrounding context. It's honestly
See, this is like
embarrassing.
jail stuff, right? You've got like cells.
Okay, well then when you go
like
forward
the bar,
to Galatians,
Great.
I don't know what they're
Another
called,
verse that
bars.
works, and
You look
let me tell you
open,
about all the
like
genocide
somebody
you're
broke
skipping
out
between Genesis and Galatians.
the cots. You could do a hospital
well,
scene too.
Genesis or Galatians 3:28
Yeah.
clearly states that there is neither Jew nor Greek,
Mhm.
there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for ye are
Can I take
all
this
one in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
mean,
Go ahead, Javon. He just did the
Justin,
exact thing I said he was
you're-
doing again, but yeah.
You claim to be a Christian, but don't understand your own teaching. Galatians 3:28 is saying that when we all go to heaven, we will be the same. It's saying nothing about what is currently existing on earth. Unless you agree, Justin, that there's no such thing as males and females. If you believe there's no such thing as males and females, and
No,
that gender
Valentine's Day
abolition is the way to go, when Paul said there's neither Jew nor Gentile, nor neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, he's talking about when we all ascend. He's not talking about currently on earth, because all of those things still exist, right? So this would be a fundamentally misunderstanding of what
baked
that
goods, some
passage is not
cookies and
saying
stuff.
slavery should be outlawed. It's just saying in heaven there won't be slave. Those slaves will be the same as the slave owners in heaven. But here on earth, y'all still slaves.
Hey, you got that Bible in front of you?
I do.
Could you pull it up to Deuteronomy 22 and read to me verses 28 and 29?
Yeah,
Since
they're
we're cherry
all. I
picking.
think they're all kind of like exclusivist claims.
Deuteronomy 22, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we don't need this. This is fine. All right, we're good.
22 verses 28
Let's
and
move on.
29. Read it out loud, please. Which version of the Bible are you in, by the way? I'll make sure I use yours.
We got the over here
Okay.
stuff. We got the over there. We got the ping pong. We recreated the band stuff.
You gonna read it out loud for us?
We got the tables
Bible.
and the chairs.
I am, yeah. So
I just
20,
I
like
think
my
we're done with
sections.
this area, actually. Let me take a quick
28 and 29.
28 and 29. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not
Oh, I
ye
didn't put the balloons and
betrothed,
shit. I
and
mean, I don't
lay
think we really
hold
need
on
them, to be
her
honest.
and
But I
lie
don't know if
with
I
her,
even want the balloons.
and they
but
be found, then the
let's
man that
see.
lay with her shall
Balloons.
give
I did
unto
put the tops
damsel's
on the
father
amps.
50 shekels
Our
of
basketball
silver,
court looks way better.
and she shall be his wife, because he has humbled her. He may not put her away all his days.
What do those verses mean?
Yeah, we did this setup over here. We did this. We even did the picnic. We did all this.
It was betrothed,
not
by the
know?
way, not betrothed.
Could throw a
Yeah,
frog
yeah.
or two in there.
I'll explain it to you. And you are welcome to consult with the biblical
I was gonna
scholar
try
of
to
your
create a
choice.
dark room
This means if
for
a man rapes a woman, as that woman is the property of their
Kyle.
father, he must reimburse the father for having defiled her virginity and take her as a wife, and now
All right,
gets possession of the
I think
woman.
now we
So you were
kinda
talking
wanna
about
do
how the Bible
hallways.
talks about equality. There's no male or female. How's that one looking for you?
And then we just have to do the front.
It doesn't say that there is no male or
The hallways
female. I
is
mean, there were
just
two
this
genders
layer.
in creation, male and female equally. He
Excuse me,
created
didn't
them.
it say it in the verse you just said from
And then,
Galatians?
like little seating areas. Okay.
There is neither male nor female.
There is neither Jew nor Gentile in Jesus Christ. So when
Keep going, read
Jesus
the whole
came
Wait,
and
what's the
died
rest?
and was
What's the
resurrected-
What's the rest, Justin?
What's the rest of Galatians?
Yes. Why are you skipping the male nor female?
We are.
Or are you
all
saying
equal.
actually
That-
he is
that what it
sexist? I'm cool with
is
this.
what is saying in. That's what it is saying
Let me
in
see. I
Galatians.
don't think there's anything in the
Is
back
that there
layer.
is
but
no
let me check.
difference as far as the way Jesus looks at us, the way God looks
Once
at
we
us,
get to
right?
heaven, but
It is
if you are
highlighting
raped as a
unity of
woman,
believers, transcending
All
social,
right, let's take a
ethnic,
let's
and gender
start with this
distinctions.
part of the map.
once you're in
and,
heaven, but if you're a
that's
woman,
what
now we
Galatians
go back to
3:28 is.
Deuteronomy,
We'll
and
do
if you get
plants,
raped as a woman,
couches,
you get nothing, but your father
bookshelves.
gets reimbursed, but you are forced to now be the husband to the person who raped you, which you can explain to me how that's different than sexual slavery in a moment. But if you are a man, totally different law. It's actually a violation of the man's autonomy if you rape a man.
Well, I mean,
You said you have the King James Bible, right?
Detailing legal.
I guess the first thing would be the couches where they place.
Distinguishing legal.
They're kind of in the middle of the open doors and.
No. Who has raped? Don't do the has sexual relations. I know Republicans like that. When it's somebody they like, they had sexual relations with a child. When it's someone they don't like, then they understand it's rape.
Rape is wrong.
Yeah. No, not in the Bible. It just costs money.
Wrong.
Just costs money in the Bible.
Well, I mean, there's also that thing of like, oh, the Bible condones slavery, yet from Genesis.
Oh, yo, these are like little checkouts. You can make like a little grocery store, and these are like the little things you walk in and out of when you go to a store. There's a lot in this tile set.
In Egypt by
little
Pharaoh.
Shopping carts.
The thing that didn't happen. Justin, what form of Christianity are you that you still accept the story of Moses is true? A lot of Christians have moved on and say that's just a story, since all the anthropological, archaeological evidence points to that there were no Jews in Egypt at that time, and the people building Egypt weren't slaves in the first place. They were revered as essentially their day's engineers and buried in the tombs that they created. So you're already like way off, and you're going with this story back here that's completely made up. That's one thing. But when we're talking about the moral systems that people are supposed to keep
isn't there
throughout history, throughout life, through no matter what the era is, and you want to cherry pick and act like, oh, but God, the reason why the Bible would justify relieving the people in Egypt of their slavery was literally because they were Jews. Because also in those books is when God tells the Jews to commit genocide, and then Moses is mad at them. I think it's Moses, might be one of the other prophets, because they left certain people living, and goes, no, you go kill everything except the virgin girls, and the virgin girls you take as your sex slaves.
Everybody.
So I don't know where you like the Bible is whatever you want it to be. That's the problem. You can cherry pick it to say whatever you want and ignore the things that are terrible.
And it's still dog
secular
shit.
Humanism gives you no such deliverance. And here we are back once again at, you can have the South based on Christianity during the Civil War and the North based on Christianity during the Civil War. So that Christianity isn't the thing that picked the correct side. It was actually the side that behaved more humanist that we now acknowledge was the superior side. And I'm saying, let's skip the Christianity and just go to the humanism.
Well, I think
the thing that motherfucking liberals and motherfuckers don't realize is they also happen to be the side that won the war. And that fucking matters, because shit would be different if they lost the war. And people forget that like the enemies of humanity now are trying to win the motherfucking war. People get under the fucking false illusion that like, you know, they won because they were on the right side of history. No, they won because they were better at fighting, and we're lucky that they were on the right side of history.
Every principle that I have is based off of the Bible.
But you cherry pick, Justin.
And like,
oh, nice.
Justin, you cherry pick.
It is actually your empathy and innate humanism
you can drop me some links,
guides
PC.
You to cherry pick. Because you're literally sitting there. And
I think
going,
we might sell official airplane mode merch with my cousin, but I definitely want to check it out.
He come from
biology, evolution. It is absolutely evolutionarily advantageous for our species to be empathetic, and it is as simple as that.
Well, I think my human nature allows me to argue and cuss at people, and I would like to say a lot of things towards people, but it is only
we aren't the only
Holy
species
Spirit
on the planet that are.
that I don't.
Okay, well, Justin, great. You don't, Justin, except for that the Holy Spirit either does or doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, then it isn't actually the Holy Spirit. It's that your belief in the Holy Spirit tells you not to. And you might find that if you had an alternative spirituality,
I thought maybe it was in
I know you're
Office
using
too,
the like,
but
I don't cuss at people. Weird. Okay. It wouldn't be bad if you did cuss at people, especially if they deserve it. I'll cuss at you all day long, Justin, you fucking menace. It's a weird thing to brag about, that if it isn't true, it still is you doing it. So you don't have to get rid of the good things just because you don't believe in God anymore.
I also just like to just tie it back to what you were saying. You're like, this country was founded on Christianity. Like, yeah, and Christians used their Bible to subjugate black people. It was literally written in advertisements that God tells us to make them slaves.
I would argue anybody takes the Bible out of context for their own gain.
But wait, but Justin, hold on.
Especially racism and slavery.
Who decides what is the proper context of the Bible, Justin? Justin, slavery is in the text. It's in the text that God allows it. He has never revoked that allowance of slavery. Not once, not one time in the Bible has God said, don't own slaves. He said a lot of don'ts. Don't work on the Sabbath. Don't wear 2 different cloth fabrics. Don't eat fish or what was it, pork is the other one. He never says don't own somebody.
Never thought that was worth mentioning.
Well, you know, I mean, he's constantly from Genesis all the way to Revelation.
All right, cool. We're different color.
And making sure that
Jewish
we
slaves.
adhere to the
Freeing
law.
Jewish slaves.
Yeah,
He's constantly freeing Jewish slaves.
Israelite. And then he told the Israelites, hey, now that you're free,
how many are back?
You can do the slavery. It's not that I had a problem with slavery. I just didn't like people making you slaves. You can make anybody you want a slave.
Justin,
it's okay
how do you
when
know
you
the context? How do you know your context is better than anybody else's?
Honestly, when I don't understand biblical passages, which a lot of them I really don't, you know what I mean?
There's 3 down here.
I go to my elders. And my elders.
Great. And how do you know their context is
they've gone
correct?
through seminary school. It's one of those things of discerning spirits. You know, I went to a Baptist church when I was younger, and it was widely, you know, taken out of context. And
so faith,
and
you have
comes
faith.
From God. Faith also
you could
comes
just
from
say
knowledge,
faith,
which is reading.
Here's 19 more words that add up to faith.
My faith comes from reading the Bible and understanding the Bible.
Great. Lots of people read the Bible thoroughly and believe they understand it. So when a Westboro Baptist person comes to me and says, nah, I hate those F words because I read the Bible, and they can prove they read it deeply, and they do go to those verses that are hateful, and they say, I have faith that this is the correct context. How do I tell them they're right and you're wrong when you're both doing it from the same foundation, when it's both of you saying, I'm reading, relying on the Spirit, and I have faith that I have the right context?
No, I mean, it certainly comes from the sources that you get them from. You know, I mean, I think people can take things out of context all the time. And I think
so you're not going to answer my question?
The Spirit. Well, I'm trying to.
You're not at all. How do we tell them they don't get to say that their foundation is right when yours is the exact same foundation? Jesus Christ, Justin. How do we tell them theirs is wrong when it's the same foundation as yours, but you came to different conclusions?
Because they're trying to spread false messages. Jesus also warned.
How do you tell them that they are spreading false messages if they got those messages using the same foundation that you did? How do you prove they're false? If you say mine is from studying faith in the Spirit, and they say mine is from studying faith in the Spirit, how do you prove to them without using those things? Because if you're using the same, it can't be exclusive. How do you prove to them that they're wrong and you're right?
It all comes down to the harm that you're putting on somebody.
No, it doesn't.
If somebody is taking the Bible out of context,
incorrect,
and it is harming people around them and them false teaching, they are absolutely incorrect. Now let's go to Exodus 21,
no,
16,
stop. No, we're not going to. Now let's go. Excuse me, Justin. Jesus fucking Christ. No, you're not going to get to do the thing where I want to say this verse. You don't get to make a point and then go, now let's jump forward and assume I was right there and jump forward. Whether a thing is harmful or not, I literally just gave a speech on this yesterday at LineCon Online Live. You should have been there. Patrons, patreon.com/CallTheLine. You do not get to say that harm is the basis for whether something is true or not, because it has nothing to do with it. Cancer exists and has killed many of my friends, has affected me, has affected my family, has affected
I don't know if I can make
a lot of people I know, and it kills people, and it's horrible. That is a terrible, harmful reality. I am not lactose intolerant. That is a lie. Even though if it were true, it would bring me so much joy, perhaps all the joy, because I think it might be the key to happiness, not being lactose intolerant. So just because the lie would be wonderful and the truth is horrible doesn't actually affect whether or not it is a lie or it is true. Now I will unmute you. If you just try to jump to verses again, you can answer the question directly, or we're going to move on. We have plenty of people waiting who will hopefully engage more honestly than you have. And just so you know, if anybody super chats at least, let's put a dollar amount on it. I'm stealing this from you, Javon. If somebody super chats $25 and says move on from this guy now, we're doing it because you are not engaging honestly. Go ahead, Justin. You've been unmuted. You can address the question directly, or we can move on.
Okay. Can you rephrase your question, please?
If you are using the same foundation, now adding the context, as you like to say, now adding that whether a claim is harmful or not, or nice or not, does not affect whether it is true, as I've just demonstrated to you. If your foundation is the same, how do you figure out which one of the two of you is correct? How do you prove who is right, considering harm level does not affect truth?
Well, I guess I just don't understand your question.
You don't understand the
I don't know how to put it easier.
Okay.
If you use math to get 2 + 2 = 6, and someone else uses math to get 2 + 2 = 8, how would you prove who was correct? Would you not have to have a system different than math to show that 2 + 2 is actually 4 and neither of them are correct?
He ain't gonna get to answer this.
Oh, sorry,
Chat,
you booted. You're out. Sorry,
Chat,
Justin. I don't, especially a person just, I can't put it simpler. So saying I don't understand the question, I suspect means I refuse to understand the question. Whether or not a belief is harmful does not affect whether or not it is true.
Yeah.
How do you know
do
God
want to
isn't
say,
me? Go ahead.
I do want to say he brought up specifically Exodus, which tells me he doesn't read the Bible, because he brought up Exodus, 21:16, which is like anyone who kidnaps someone is to be put to death. Not 3 verses later, it talks about the fact that slaves are the property of their owners, and owners can beat their slaves if they want to.
And
so God considers kidnappers and slavers 2 totally different things.
He also is completely ignoring that these laws, the laws of Moses and the like, they are to the Jews for the Jews. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not kill other Jews. And we know that for a lot of reasons, the least of which not being that they then talk about all the non-Jews they're going to kill. It's like, don't say context when you clearly are so shy of it. But let's go ahead and jump into calls here, and we're going to start in the with a MAGA caller from Colorado.
Oh, that looks so good.
This is like Moist Critical coming out and making a video and being like, guys, the McFicks over there at Israel are obviously doing a genocide and we got to put a stop to it. It's like they're melting babies over there. I can't believe it. You know, I put my black t-shirt on instead of the white one today because I wanted to talk about the severity of the crisis at hand. When you see the Gaza situation is crazy YouTube video, know that things have changed so dramatically that people are no longer fearful. A couple weeks ago, I said, once Moist Critical talks about Israel, it's over. And it seems Moist Critical is, as a matter of fact, literally wearing the black t-shirt and talking about Israel, which is ironically what I said. Once he wears the black t-shirt and starts talking about Israel, it's over. As in, the American normie class has completely shifted their position on Israel and are no longer even afraid to speak about these things. Guys, it's time. There's a real up situation going on.
Benjamin Netanyahu just openly stating in front of the whole world his plans on brainwashing because so many people are turning on Israel. So he was asked, like, what he plans to do about it. And you know what? Since I'm just yapping, I'm just going to go ahead and go on this topic now, too.
I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel? What's our backup plan to be strong, like, outside of the diaspora?
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, we talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's the woke right, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies.
Yeah, that's his strategy. A galaxy brain chess maneuver here. Call everyone that doesn't support Israel Nazis.
Insane that Charlie's going beast mode for once. I mean, it's not that insane. Dude, someone must have clipped it when I was memeing about how when Charlie comes out with the black t-shirt and starts talking about, guys, we have a serious problem with Israel. That's when you know we've arrived at the normie position. Dude, I'm going to keep it very real with you. There is no world where someone like Charlie would ever in a million years say anything about Israel. You guys are straight up living in a totally alternative reality. If you think a person that people call a fence sitter professionally, okay, his own personal positions on Israel are irrelevant. I'm saying, like, as far as coming out and saying anything about Israel, because of how terrified most people have been to say anything about Israel at all, anything for Israel, anything to say about Israel at all. Because for many people, for content creators, for people with jobs, they are terrified of saying anything about Israel that's negative, because automatically you are public enemy number one. You're losing your job. You're going to be tarred and feathered, you're going to be called the anti-Semitic Nazi for the rest of your life. This means it's no longer the case. This means that normies have also recognized that there isn't a tremendous amount of social pressure that can be applied if you come out and you're like, what the are we doing here? This is completely unacceptable. He is proving exactly what I've been saying for months, that Israel's censorship regime especially is very frustrating for regular Americans who might not personally give a what's going on there. Not to say that Charlie doesn't, right? I'm using Moist Critical here as a beacon. I'm using him as a way to tell you where, like, societal attitude is at. Yeah, a canary in the coal mine, a litmus test, an indicator, okay? Most people either don't know anything about Palestine or Israel and never really cared, or they had a positive opinion on Israel until October 7, right? And most people saw what Israel did after October 7 and at times tuned in and thought, wow, that's really oh, well, life goes on. I'm talking about, like, normal people, not you guys. This community is obviously unique. We are uniquely tuned in to what the Israel's been up to every single day, okay? For the average person, for your coworkers, they are not as tuned in. But this doesn't mean that they're oblivious. They are aware of what Israel's doing. Some people know what Israel's doing and think, well, you know, they're brown guys. Oh, well, it's really sad. Maybe they should stop. But they're just, you know, brown children being slaughtered. And they just move on with their lives. But if there's one thing that pisses off Americans, if there's one thing that pisses off your coworkers, it's the fact that they see that, they don't like it, they're fearful to say anything about it, and they see others saying something about it that reflects their values on the issue, and they get censored, or they get deplatformed, or they get yelled at endlessly by some of the most arrogant genocidaires you have ever encountered, and they don't like that. They especially don't like this. So even if there's an American out there who doesn't give a who doesn't like what Israel is doing, but doesn't care enough to go out and protest, and is not fully aware of all of the awfulness, all of the bloodshed that Israel has committed, they especially don't like being censored. They don't like the fact that there are unlimited tax dollars going there, and they don't like the arrogance and entitlement demonstrated by this supposed client state, and they don't like that they are being censored for exhibiting any sort of discontent. We shall call this the Kimmel effect. That's a good take. Exactly. Americans might not be totally tuned into all the awful shit that Trump is doing right now at the domestic level. When he came out and was like Jimmy Kimmel for this, like, tepid statement about Charlie Kirk, deserves to be barred from speaking on television, and the FCC should like revoke the television license, all of a sudden everyone goes, what the f do you mean? Get the f out of here. And that's precisely what's taking place here. Poll after poll is showing that more and more Americans are becoming aware of the reality or acknowledging the reality that Israel is committing a genocide. It's crazy to me that it's still 39% because that's precisely what this is, right? Wait, that's American. Wait, no, hold on. That's Jews. That's American Jews, brother. No, the percentage of Americans that say Israel's committing a genocide against Palestinians in Gaza is far higher than that. This is American Jews. Most American Jews say Israel's committed war crimes against Palestinians. About 4 in 10 say Israel's committed genocide. That's insane. That's huge. But yeah, poll after poll has shown that Americans are broadly aware of Israel's genocide, and pretty much every American you've ever encountered wants to reduce support for Israel. Pretty much every single American you ever encountered wants an arms embargo. Pretty much every single American you can encounter says it's a genocide. It's gone. It's done. It's over. Do you understand? 65% want sanctions. Oh, this is the Democrats. Okay, I was going to say, this is like, the percentages seem far too high for all Americans. But regardless, overwhelming numbers also recognize that Israel is committing a genocide. Majority of Americans also want to push for sanctions on Israel, okay? Not just Democrats. Because when you look at independents, their numbers are a little bit lower than the Democrats, and then Republicans are pro-Israel, but it doesn't matter, right? Because Republicans alone don't make up for Israel support. Like, with the exception of evangelical Zionists and Jewish Zionists, which also are no longer as pro-Israel as they used to be, okay? With the exception of evangelicals and Jews, most of the United States of America are no longer pro-Israel. And that happened over 2 years. You have to measure that against how pro-Israel Americans used to be. It is so over. And it's only going to get worse from here on out for Israel as far as like approval ratings goes. Americans are no longer afraid of even coming out as being anti-Israel. Because like in the past, many Americans would shy away from saying the truth. Many Americans would shy away from saying the truth because they were worried. Because nobody wants to be yelled at and be called a anti-Semite, okay? Especially because like when you get called an anti-Semite, especially by like these advocacy groups that do have a tremendous or did have a tremendous amount of institutional motion, your career is over, okay? This goes even beyond like people's distaste for speaking on political issues. And now it's like, it's no longer the Canary Mission doxing random like Palestinian nurses and because they can't dox every single person. You know what I mean? So they don't have that same environment of censorious fear, and it doesn't hit anymore.
And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. And the most important ones are in social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok. Number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. X. Exactly. Very good. And, you know,
all right,
so we have
two vending machines in the seating area.
Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I can go on other things, but that's not the point right now.
Spoiler warning for those without thinking caps on. Censorship. He's talking about censorship. Damn to free speech. Benjamin Netanyahu's got other ideas. It's something he's talked about plenty in the past. He's not exactly shy with it. He's very loosey-goosey with the censorship topic, and he's really talking about it again. He recognizes how everyone sharing videos and information about the atrocities and all the slaughter of the Palestinians at the hands of the IDF is making people turn on Israel. So now genocidal freak is going up to Elon Musk. Oh, Mr. Musk, can we do something about like all these pesky voices sharing all of this? It's censorship. Super weird, by the way, how a foreign nation seems to have so much pull over things happening in our homeland. Why can Netanyahu come out with his full ass on display talking about like how algorithms on the platforms here need to cater to him, and also he should be talking to Elon about Twitter so they can do something together in regards to like the people not liking Israel anymore and what they're having access to? Why is that? Like, that shouldn't be allowed, right? Like, what the this guy gets to come in and, like, completely wash our fucking freedom of speech in order to fit his censorship agenda?
There you go.
Cool. How about no Goober? Like, come on.
Damn, bro, I can't believe I'm hearing Moist Critical. My eyes, my ears. I can't believe I'm seeing and hearing Moist Critical wearing the black shirt, literally calling Benjamin Netanyahu the G word, goober. Okay? That is crazy. How do we get here, folks? The mother G word, man. Incredible things are happening. We're finally here. I don't know anything about him. What's the significance of the black shirt? I mean, that's mostly a meme. Charlie doesn't normally do a lot of politics. Like he's a liberal for sure, right? In the past, like he's come out and had some interesting takes that I definitely consider liberal, but like he deliberately stays out of trouble, I guess, if that makes sense. He tries to actively not talk about this stuff. For him to come out and like make a statement is indicative of the change in times. It means that there aren't like tremendous repercussions for this sort of thing. He is demonstrative of an attitude shift. It means that like this position is no longer, this is an inoffensive position. It's like people actually no longer feel fearful to reveal this. And he has, in the past, he stood up for trans people and a lot of people yelled at him for it. Like this means that like the average American cop and divorced dad also has a similar perspective. Do you understand? Like there's cops that watch Moist Critical. There's divorced dads that watch Moist Critical. Your coworkers watch Moist Critical.
Oh, here the donuts.
Okay, in our age group.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
They're with the picnic stuff.
I want you to look at what happened when the National Guard went to D.C.
Quite the Freudian slip. And as I said, there's no way he meant to say that. But he never corrects it or anything. No one points it out. And what he's talking about didn't pertain to pedophiles at all. His crime statistics were robbery, homicide, and rape. 2 out of 3 of those he covered previously. The last one, robbery, that doesn't relate to stopping attacking pedophiles. Like, those two don't connect. You can't put the square piece into the circle hole on that one. And I saw people saying that it was intellectually dishonest to paint it as anything other than just like an embarrassing flub. Which is fair enough, I suppose, because I'm not trying to make the claim that this is him fully admitting to things and he's going full mask off. Ted Cruz did, notably, reject the release of the Epstein files. Like, from all available information, it seems he has been against the release of the Epstein files, judging from his votes in regards to it. So I did pose that, here's a little food for thought. There may be a little something there, possibly, but overall, the video, I was just taking the piss out of it. That's really it. But that was somehow incendiary and made people mad about, like, to portray him clearly having a flub there.
Once again, that is indicative of his audience's attitude, right? Even when he's like gently making fun of Ted Cruz for a very obvious gaffe while tying it back to the Epstein stuff, like there are people in his audience that get mad at that. Okay,
See, there's more
there's obviously like right wingers in his audience as well. Not his entire audience, but that is once again where Charlie is at and what he represents for someone like myself.
I'm going to harp on Ted Cruz for a moment because I just don't understand the glaze. I don't know how he has hog riders. I do not get the pedophiles that will defend him tooth and nail when he himself has said that the reason he got into Congress 13 years ago is to defend the interests of Israel.
I came into Congress 13 years ago with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate. And I've worked every day to do that.
So you are an American politician whose sole purpose for being here is to defend the interests of a foreign nation here, domestically. I just don't know how that's not treasonous. I'm just going to say it. I don't get how that is not just like full-blown treason. I saw quite a few takes when it came out about Israel paying influencers for like positive PR and stuff, and people were tossing the word treason around in regards to that.
Let me get a
this
quick,
is that times
let me get
50.
a quick mode going.
I don't know how this one gets a pass. I don't get how that gets a pass. He is supposed to represent the state of Texas. You would think as an American.
I told you, motherfucker. Dude, wait till Charlie hears about BDS laws, dude. Any self-respecting American who hears about the treacherous, nefarious ways in which Israel advocacy groups have been able to dominate American political discourse in this fashion, they're never going to look at that the same way ever again. 38 states where you have to sign a loyalty pledge to the state of Israel to retain a job. Ain't no way.
Again, I'm not the most politically savvy guy on the planet. I'm a Neanderthal. I get that. I am a Cro-Magnon man when it comes to this. But I just don't understand. I cannot wrap my head around how people will support that. I don't get it.
Actually, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I need to eat some dinner and get ready to get up out of here. come hang out in the work adventure. I think we fixed the link. I'll be there for the rest of the night for like another good hour or so while I try to make a final push on this. And so, yeah, we just got a couple more decorations to do, and then I can actually go on a work adventure and make the map live and add all of our stuff. So thank y'all so much for rocking with me. I really, really appreciate it. Can't thank y'all enough. We'll see you tomorrow for the show. Yes, that's right. We'll do a normal hot program tomorrow. At least that's the game plan. Can't wait. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Like I said, we'll be hanging out in work adventure, and we'll see you next time.